You're watching the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Now it's time for the Brent and Austen Show.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Brent and Austen Show. Brent's going to be, can we move these mics here? Brent's going to be on the road today. Do we know where he's calling from or where he's checking in from, Hamby?
He'll be calling in from the Gainesville area.
The Gainesville area. I assume a softball game?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kaylee's softball game, I assume?
Yep.
Do we know, is she on the mound today?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice. So Brent will be here probably like 10 to 15 minutes or so. Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. I'm Austen Lane. And, before we get into sports, this is a sports show. I guess you can consider fighting a sport, Hamby, so it's kind of topical and everything. Hamby, you go on the internet.
I do.
You're up to, date on the latest trends and everything, yeah?
I'd say
for the most part.
For the most part.
For the most part, obviously, yep. Bill Belichick's a big thing right now,
That's
right?
correct, yep.
And by the way, hey, Brent Martineau, gonna need you to get the director's cut.
Yep.
Have you heard about it, Hamby?
The director's cut?
Yeah. Did you hear what happened? So this is an article from Barstool, but it's from TMZ. So I guess there's a 30-minute unreleased version of the Bill Belichick interview.
Send it in.
Where his girl actually stormed out. She got so upset. And there was one part, I guess, that got super awkward where he was talking about football and she cut him off. So, once again, this is just, it could be hearsay, it could be the truth, but, this is according to TMZ talking to CBS, executives or producers or whatever, that there's an extended version of the interview that didn't get aired because it was so awkward and so cringy.
Wow.
Which, if that's the good stuff that you posted...
Oh, that was 100%.
What is the bad stuff that you posted? But anyways, we'll maybe talk about that later a little bit. Have you seen the 100 humans versus a gorilla?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This is big on the interwebs. Oh, Hamby, did I see it? I've watched it 3 times total now, and I've studied it. I've thought about it. I've pondered it. So let me go and ask you first.
Stop me. I'm all the way up.
There we go. I like that.
Just want to start the day.
Wake us up, man. That's all good. And for those of you that are, uninformed, uninitiated to this viral trend right now on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and everything, I guess somebody put in an AI or whatever the case where they said, what would happen if 100 human beings, 100, I think it was, they didn't say it was men or women, but just 100 people fought a full-sized silverback gorilla.
Right.
And so whatever, I guess AI generated it, and they showed what would happen. That's obviously cartoonish, whatever. And the gorilla took no prisoners. The gorilla killed everybody. It wasn't even a 10-9. It was a 10-8 round. It wasn't even close. It wasn't okay, we got it. No. Human beings, we'll see you guys later. Hamby. If we wrangled up 100 people to take on a silverback gorilla, do you like our chances?
Do I get to pick the 100 men? Or 100
we're gonna have the gorilla draft. Yes, 100 rounds.
Oh, if I get to pick
100 rounds, yes.
Yeah, then we're winning easily.
You're confident.
Yeah, I get Brock Lesnar.
Oh no! I'm sorry. It's got to be people that you know.
Oh, I have to.
You can't just, yeah.
Oh, I thought,
Well, hey, are you just going to talk Brock Lesnar into going with you to fight a gorilla?
Yeah.
What? And why would he oblige you on that?
If he suplexes the gorilla?
Hey, Hamby, I hate to tell you, Brock Lesnar ain't suplexing a gorilla.
Suplex City.
Suplex City, baby.
I'll get Brian Shaw.
So I'm saying go in your contacts, 100 people. The 100 people in your contacts, and go and throw me in the mix. I'll help.
Yeah. Obviously you're probably first pick.
Okay. How are we feeling about it?
I think I'm still taking us. It's 100 people.
Okay, but here's the thing, Hamby, right? And this is, listen, the internet can be fun sometimes. It can be a great time. Everyone's saying, well, all you got to do is just lay on them. 100 people.
No, you can't.
That ain't going to happen. And here's what we're not taking into account. Hamby, it's a gorilla. This thing is a killing machine. Right. It is a predator. It is an absolute specimen. It is a juggernaut.
Right.
We get in our feelings when Twitter's down for 5 minutes. We get in our feelings when our plane's delayed by 15 minutes. That's who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
We aren't predators anymore. Like, let's not give us so much credit. And my big worry is that, all right, we're going to wrangle 100 people, and we can, like, make our whole contacts, right? So we can combine our contacts. Yeah, you know, I got some former players in there I feel confident about. I got some fighters in there that I feel good about. And it's one thing to actually show up to the fight with the gorilla. You think everyone's just going to say, hey, let's everyone just charge it at the exact same time? No fear, no emotion, no worries? Because I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I've been in a cage before, but if I'm running towards a gorilla, a part of me is going to be like, I might be turning the other direction. So
Well,
I think when you take emotion into it.
Say we're locked in a fence and
Okay.
you only get out
only
if
way-
you survive. Yeah, there's no way out.
All right. So then you're going to be the mastermind real quick. How are we taking out this gorilla?
I'm saying because 100 people can't charge at a gorilla at once. That's impossible. It's not big enough for 100 people to get hands on or anything like that.
True. Yep.
So you got to go with a
What are you going, like 5 by 5? What are you going?
systematic plan of attack. I'm saying 10 by 10.
All angles.
All angles.
All
I'm
angles.
Going, 2 at each leg, one from the front, one from the back on each. So that's 4.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have 2 people try to spear it at the same time.
Yep.
Run and give him a little Goldberg Roman Reigns. And then as soon as he's down, we're gonna have 6 people designed to throw absolute haymakers.
Haymakers, okay.
Rip at the neck.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't think we're gonna choke this thing out. I don't.
We got William Torres in the chat. I'm not sure why the chat's not working on our feed, but we got it. I'm on YouTube right now. Got to set up Austen for the rear naked choke. So rush 30 people to the front, and he'll sneak up behind it. William Torres, I appreciate the love and everything and the faith in me. You ain't get a rear naked choke at a gorilla. You could have Trayvon Walker out there trying to rear naked choke a gorilla, and it ain't gonna happen with his long arms, man. Like, here's what I think we do, Hamby. Now, once again, I'm not confident. I think we got like a 2% chance of killing this thing.
People are gonna die. Like we're not gonna get it on the first round.
Well, yeah, and then how are we gonna approach that? Like, we need William Wallace to give us a pep talk before. You gonna give us a pep talk? You gonna talk to us like you talk to your baseball team? Like, hey, guys, we gotta strike the fences. We got a gorilla. Some of y'all ain't gonna make it. Let's call a spade a spade.
We'll
all right.
Kirby Smart for the post.
Call Dan Lanning.
Call Dan Lanning.
Call Dan Lanning. Get those baseball bats ready. My biggest thing is that, okay, first of all, we got to motivate people that, like, we got to charge this thing. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be like, and yeah, you're probably going to die, but, what we do now echoes in eternity. Something out of Gladiator, right? Okay. And you will be remembered. So we got to, first of all, motivate people. But then, Hammy, and correct me if I'm wrong here, yeah, come at it from different angles. The main focus, and this is what we got to tell the people, we got to go for the eyes. And I don't mean an eye gouge. I mean, we need to
rip at the eyes.
Like I'm going into, like a sandbox or something. I'm getting handfuls of eyes.
Okay.
And I'm pulling them out. Got to. Now, you do that, and the gorilla is probably going to go into like a death helicopter. Just this.
Right.
It's just arms.
Yes.
Because he's going to be so upset and so ticked off. But we rip out the eyes, Hamby, and then we just all run away. Mm-hmm. And then we let him tire himself out. That's how I think you stop the gorilla.
Okay.
Now, getting to the eyes is going to be difficult.
Right.
I'm going to be a little squeamish, not going to lie. Like, yeah, it sounds badass right now. But when I'm up by the face and I got eye juice on my hands.
You got any Russians in your contacts?
Oh, I do got some Russians in my contact. Well, I got some Dagestanians who can wrestle.
Yeah, we'll sign that to them.
Okay.
They'll handle the eyes.
Okay, they'll handle the eyes. Well, then do you have a translator in your phone? Because I don't. They don't really speak. Like, I have like their.
Claw the eyes. Claw the eye.
Yeah. Hamby, I like it.
I think we can, yeah.
Hamby, I'm not gonna lie. We might have a plan here. Brent, Brent coming to the party?
Oh yeah.
We trust Brent.
I want to see him.
Brent can give a speech.
Yeah.
To like motivate everybody. He's got to be the William Wallace. We'll see.
He's good. First 30 people get destroyed, and then the 69 left join sides with the gorilla and jump Hamby for coming out to play. Dang it.
We go to the, instead of going to the Dagestani wrestlers, we go to the gorilla. Hey, you. Hamby, go. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, this is the dumb thing. We're never going to know, right? This will never be solved, but...
I don't know. I think in 1,000 years, somebody will pay to see it.
Thomas S., let James Gladstone give this speech. I'm not mad at that,
I'm
man.
mad at it because he's definitely not going to play any other role.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
Well, he's a little on the smaller side, sure. But, Hamby, like, let's again, like, I get what you're saying where... We're all concerned about like the big tough guys, which you're gonna need a lot of those.
Yeah.
But I need fearless, relentless guys too.
Yeah.
Like I need scrappiness.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe need scrappiness more than just size. Like size is cool, but like, is there a killer instinct there? I don't know. This is all I'm gonna think about for the rest of the show. By the way, like we're gonna talk about the Jaguars and everything, and my mind's gonna be on where can we find a gorilla? Yeah, what do you got?
Steve Gannon, Cardinals head coach. You got that fire in your gut?
Do you have his number though? You know.
Well, I mean,
you gonna put him on Twitter? You gonna add him?
You should give our free gorilla fight speech.
Okay.
Who rode the bus here?
All right. So Hamby, final answer: are we taking the gorilla down? Yes or no? 100 people.
Yes.
In your contacts.
Yes.
If me and you combine it.
Yes. If
All right.
it's life or death, no way out. We'll find a way.
Okay. Think about who you want for that speech, though, because we say Brent Martineau. I don't have James Gladstone's number. Brent might have it. Brent's got a lot of people in his contacts too, as well.
He does.
We need 100 intangibly rich people. Who you telling, Thomas?
Yes, we do.
You saw the whole video though, right? Of the gorilla,
I've seen it.
And that's the thing too. We kind of need cardio a little bit. Like it ain't gonna be a first round KO here for us against the gorilla.
No.
Like we're gonna have to run. We're gonna have to juke. We're gonna once we gouge the eyes and rip the eyes out, we gotta like go with our respective corners. A lot of things, man.
Man, that first person to make contact, I feel bad.
And that's the thing. Who's gonna be infantry? Man, we're going really off on a tangent here. That's fine. But like, who's gonna be the infantry? Because I know you're saying like, okay, Austen, the hell I am. I can't be the first one leading the charge. I'm gonna be in the back, man. This is my idea. We're gouging eyes. I'm the general. Get me in the back. Yeah, they say get general leads his troops. To hell with that.
No weapons.
No weapons. YB 400. We're talking 100 of our contacts in our phone right now, locked and loaded. No guns though. Just wit. Just fists, arms, legs, feet. That's all we got. Someone's got to be the bait. Hamby. Hey.
I might have to volunteer.
Hamby. You know? Sometimes it's all about the greater good. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm going to save humanity, I'm on.
Hey, Hamby. And we will tell your tale. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Your
do you think
legacy will live on.
How long do you think... Do you think you could kill me with one punch? Or do you think it would take like 2 or 3? And I know it would be like 10 seconds. That's the difference between 1 second and 10, but that goes a long way.
You asking a serious question right now?
What if it doesn't square me up the very first time?
Hamby.
It might not be a fatal blow.
Hamby.
It's going to incapacitate me.
Hamby.
But if it has 9 people reaching at it?
Listen, as someone who's been dropped a couple times in a UFC fight by not a gorilla, but you know, a guy that weighs 245 pounds, if you mean to tell me that you're going to absorb one punch to anywhere of a silverback gorilla, then you're in the wrong line of work. Let's get you training right now.
No,
Mr. Crimson Chin, Mr. Iron Chin.
No, I don't foresee that being.
Hamby, if he punched you in the chest, he's going to punch a hole through you.
Yeah, it's probably.
It's a gorilla, dude. It ain't Brock Lesnar. It's a gorilla. All right, Hamby, yeah. See, YB 400. Hey, well, we found our bait.
The gorilla could miss and Hamby would die.
We just the wind alone, Hamby gets sent in a tornado-like spiral. Oh man, we should wait for Brent for this conversation. But no, Hamby, to answer your question, you are not gonna absorb a punch from a gorilla. You wouldn't even absorb I feel like just like a little flick, like a little It's through your skull, man.
Yeah, but what if he punches me in the arm?
Hamby. Okay, so you see your arm, right? Now imagine your arm just disintegrating, just exploding into a million pieces.
Saying though, then I still have my other arm. I could contribute.
I'm sorry. Is this gorilla just gonna throw one punch and say, "Oh, we're all good"?
Well, there's 10 other people grabbing at it. He's gonna have to throw.
I don't think you know how gorillas work.
Rapid fire.
I don't think you know how gorillas work, my guy.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Dude, they're gonna like go like this. They're not just gonna. Dude, it ain't like.
I know it's.
It ain't Muhammad Ali circling and just pumping a jab, okay? Because that's what I feel like you think this gorilla's gonna do. He's just gonna come in, do a little Ali shuffle, and just start pumping the jab. Nah, man, we're going gorilla mode. He's gonna take his fist and just pound until there's nothing but bloody pulp left, and then he's gonna probably pound you some more. Phrasing, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, you know, but like Hamby, it ain't. Man, that's it. You're the bait, and that's what it's gonna be. Okay. We established that. So here's what I'm saying: can we beat the gorilla? I think we got a 10% chance. No, it's better than anything, right? Like if you watch Star Wars, that's all they needed was like a 5% chance to take down the evil empire. Remember, Luke hit the shot, boom, we're good.
It's true.
That's all we need is 10% chance. But I'm gonna need you to do a little more research on how gorillas work. Because you apparently don't know. Okay? I mean, I love the confidence.
100 people are going to need some optimism.
Okay, well, see, and I thought about this once again. You think I prepped for the show today, or do you think I spent like 30 minutes in the gym when I was working out thinking about this? The answer is the latter. What I suggest we do, and I understand like probably 80% of people in my contacts haven't done this, but I'm going to take one out of the Vikings book. And I'm going to take one out of, do you know like what a berserker is from, you know, Nordic times? Mm-mm. So berserkers were like the fiercest Viking warriors. And they all had something in common. They all took a bunch of mushrooms and drugs before they went out to the battlefield. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
We ain't doing this sober. I can't have sober people trying to rush in with me, especially the uninitiated sober people. So, mushrooms, narcotics, whatever the case may be, let's up everybody's, you know, HP and let's go. Okay. We should one last thing. I wonder if we can like put this in some kind of algorithm where it's like, okay, we got a couple, you know, Dagestani wrestlers that Austen knows. Okay, we got Hamby as bait. Okay, everyone's going to be on narcotics really hyped up, ready to go. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know, we're going to go for the eyes. I wonder if we can put that information into like to the AI. I wonder if we got a better shot.
Oh, it would definitely up our odds.
Show me that footage. All right, Hamby, let's get into sports now.
No problem.
What do you got for us today?
Here's what I got. Of all the draft picks.
Yes.
Outside of Travis Hunter.
Okay, and this is just all the Jaguars draft picks.
That's correct.
Okay.
If you could pick one player that they drafted to be an all-pro,
who
would it be?
Are you asking who it should be? Like, to say this draft was like, you know, a great draft, or who I think it's going to be? You know what I'm saying?
Who
like,
you would want it to be.
Who I would want it to be outside of Travis Hunter. And okay, before we say out Travis Hunter, Hamby, do you think Travis Hunter is going to be the all-pro, obviously on offense, defense, or are we talking about both? Like, eventually, obviously, not. Because I think this year is going to be a little acclimation period.
Yeah, I would say offense, at least first.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, if he was an all-pro both one day, that'd be insane.
Yeah. Man, it's a decent question. So, like, you know, I mean, Tootin is a guy, like, he's intriguing, right? Just because the speed, the athleticism, you know, Liam Cohen loves to use his running backs, right? Like, I don't think Bucky Irvin was an all-pro by any means, but, like, I think probably a Pro Bowler. I think the one that I would want to see and I could vision, and this is more going up just by what he said, is Wyatt Millum. Because that's a guy like, for instance, if we said Tootin, Hamby, like all pro what? It's like the top 3, top 2. Like, is he going to be better than Saquon? Is he going to be better than Derrick Henry? Like, probably not off the get-go because I see the Jaguars using more than one running back. You know, the thing that, once again, Saquon and Derrick Henry, fantastic running backs, but they're getting the lion's share, right? Like, Derrick Henry, they'll sub in every once in a while, right? Because I forgot who they had Justice Hill before he got hurt. So he was more like the third down back. Derrick Henry, not the best best receiver outside the backfield. So it was kind of more of a committee every once in a while, but it was still Derrick Henry's show. Well, it's Saquon Barkley's show. I don't think it's going to be Tootin's show like this year. And once again, stop the rootin', tootin', whatevers. Okay, let's be the cool team. Let's not make T-shirts that are going to embarrass ourselves down the line. Everybody, I think Millam is probably the safe pick here. What do you got?
You think that would be the best for the Jaguars going forward if he was the All-Pro?
I mean, honestly, yeah, I'd want to say Caleb Branshaw would be a good pick, right? That would be really great for the Jaguars. Third-round pick, delivers. In the secondary, you got a lot of great guys up front in Josh Hines, Allen, Trayvon Walker. Now you add Caleb Branshaw to that mix. Like, yeah, that would be a solid defense, and that needs to be the priority too. But I think overall, Wyatt Millam would be the guy.
I like that. I think a lot of people would love for him to be, the starter post Ezra Cleveland.
Yeah.
As soon as possible, at least in 2026. I think to have an all-pro running back, though, I mean, as much as
that
people wanted
Jeanty,
sure, over this last month, that would make the most. I think we asked the fan base, but it seems right for the Jaguars to have an all-pro running back right after the last 15, 20 years of Freddie T and MJD. We haven't had one since. We keep talking about taking the most off of Trevor Lawrence and helping him out. Why not have an all-pro at running back? And I'm assuming that if we have an all-pro at running back, that means Milam is doing not too shabby either at left guard.
No, dude, I understand. So I'm looking at who the all-pros were last year. Yes, you got Derrick Henry, you got Saquon Barkley. Surprise, surprise. I understand that, that would be great. Because, spoiler alert, if you have an all-pro running back, you're competing for a Super Bowl. Right? Like, I feel like very rarely, I remember, I think it was 2011, my second year in Jacksonville, Maurice Jones-Drew was the NFL's leading rusher. And I can't remember if he got all-pro or not. He probably should have if you're the NFL's leading rusher. But, we didn't win a lot of games because of it. That was the anomaly. That was a rarity. Blaine Gabbert at quarterback just didn't work out. But if you have an all-pro running back, 9 times out of 10, we're talking about at least Super Bowl contention.
Sure.
And yeah, and if the Jaguars got that here, that would be fantastic with Tootin. He was taken in the third round. No, he's a 4th-round pick, right?
Yep.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Tootin was 102, I think, or
104. Yeah, close. 104. That would be great, Hamby. But I'm not sure if I can I can see it, speed, explosiveness, and guy can run through you as well. It's funny that his NFL comparison on NFL.com was Isaiah Pacheco. Because I didn't think, is Isaiah Pacheco that fast?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So I don't get where that comparison comes from. Because you think of Isaiah Pacheco, you think, okay, the guy's going to lower his shoulder, he's going to fall forward, he's going to get you 4 extra yards. Great, when he's healthy. I feel like Tootin's a guy where you get him on the edge, he makes one guy miss, 2 guys miss, and he's gone.
Dang, Pacheco's 40 at the combine was 4.37.
It was 4.37.
I would have never
Isaiah
guessed.
Pacheco was 4.37.
I would have guessed 4.48, 4.49, something like that. Man.
That's crazy to me.
He was the fastest of all those running backs at that combine.
Out of Colorado, right? I mean, it's not like it matters, whatever.
I don't think he was out of Colorado.
Wherever, yeah, maybe not. I don't know.
I thought he was like Toledo or something.
Maybe. But it's... Wow.
Rutgers.
Rutgers, okay.
Yeah.
But, dude, the way that Pacheco runs, you would never guess that the guy could run a 4.3.
Because he runs high knees.
That's what I'm saying.
He stomps the ground.
Yeah. He's trying to just go through you.
Right.
Do I have to go back and watch the Tootin film again? I saw a guy who's trying to make people miss. You think of Isaiah Pacheco. You don't think of making guys miss. You think of running through guys.
And that was at 2:15, Pacheco.
What is Tootin?
2:05.
Okay. Interesting. I didn't know Pacheco was that fast.
I know.
Consider me shocked on the day. But nevertheless, I just don't think... I don't know. Do you see Tootin being a bell cow in 2 years, Hamby?
I mean, if I'm going to be optimistic, I would love it.
Yeah, sure, if you're optimistic, but be a realist for a second.
I mean, it's hard for me to put anything on running backs drafted in the 4th round because that has nothing. It's just not indicative of how good they truly are.
Sure.
I mean, we see 4th and 5th round running backs become Pro Bowlers all the time. So, I mean, as much as he toted the rock at VTech, I think he could be.
I just think, listen, Hamby, what is that? Hamby, what are you playing in the back there? And can the people hear it?
Yeah, they can hear it. That's our break music.
Oh, we're going to break?
Yeah.
We're actually going to break before we have to go to break? All right. Sounds good, man. I'm going to say this, though. I think it's Wyatt Millen is the answer here because you've had a lot of great players in the past, a couple years. I mean, I say great players. You've had a lot of good players. You've had some great players as well. Give me the last great Jacksonville Jaguar offensive lineman.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
The schedules are out for another summer of soccer here in Jacksonville with the Armada men's and women's under-23 squads, starting with the ladies and the home opener on May 24th. 2 weeks later, they're back in Northeast Florida for a June 7th matchup. The season wraps up with a pair of Friday night home matches June 20th and the 27th. As for the boys in blue, they debut against a couple league newcomers on May 9th and 17th respectively, with more home dates on May 31st, June 14th, and June 21st. All those matches are at Edward Waters University, and you can watch them live on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Those teams are a big focus on Fleet and Footy, covering the big soccer stories each week on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the note for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with a purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Travis Hunter, a little introductory dance. Dude's got some moves, Hamby. I'm not mad at it. Hamby, could you do that?
I can pull that off, I think.
You can pull that off.
No, it wouldn't look like he did it.
If we win,
it wouldn't look like he did it.
If we went in the Action News Jax studios after the show, and we got, all the producers, all the anchors, all the workers to get a line like this, and to say, Hamby, it's your time to shine.
Yeah.
We're going to get a Travis Hunter-like performance.
I mean, it's not going to look like Travis Hunter, but I could pull these moves off.
That right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, man, look.
Let me go and put some emails out. What?
You're going to see in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I have no claim that I can dance, but at the same time, you got to just send it sometimes.
You just got to send it sometimes. I like that. Is there have you practiced dancing with your fiance? Do you guys got
we haven't even practiced yet.
Hamby, get on it, man.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the DJ part at the end.
Oh, but you have to do your first dance.
Yeah, I've been told.
Do you have to dance with your mom? Is mom?
Yep.
Are you guys? Did you practice?
We'll be fine.
Okay. Hey, I hope so because we're gonna have Action Sports Jax there covering it. So go ahead and
film crew.
And speaking of a film crew, speaking of Action Sports Jax, I think we are joined now on location from Gainesville, Florida. Kaylee Martineau on the bump later today. Did I say that right, Hamby? On the bump?
Yeah,
Is that what you guys do? Do we got Brent Martineau?
Let's see if we got him. Uh-oh, where'd he go?
Okay. Yep. See?
He wanted us to keep talking about my dancing, I guess.
For sure.
A little bit longer.
Dude ain't there? Because I was told to give an introduction.
He'll be here very shortly.
All right. Well, that's the only introduction he gets. So just tell him to pop in then. That's all.
Well.
Okay. We'll be with Brent Martineau here momentarily. Got Casey Kurtz, I think, coming in later today. I believe we're going to play the, whatever you want to call it, the voiceover game again.
Play-by-play.
The play-by-play game.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. I'm just praying that he's got a video of 10 foul balls where I can just do my whole base. Because I feel like baseball is the one that you want to do. It's easy. It's a little more low key. Trying to call a hockey game, even a soccer game, man, I feel like it takes a lot more energy. Baseball, it's like you're at a bar just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that? If you could call any sport, Hamby, obviously you're very versed in baseball, but if you could call any sport, would picking baseball?
Yeah, I definitely pick baseball. I think it's definitely you have the most time. So, you have the opportunity to build the moment a lot more.
Yeah.
And you can tell C stories too. So,
Hamby, before we get Brent in here, you brought up a great question of who could you visualize being an All-Pro, out of this draft class besides Travis Hunter. I want to turn it more now to Travis Hunter, and I think we both agree. If he's going to be an All-Pro, it'll probably be at wide receiver, right? And that's what you want. Help out Trevor Lawrence and everything. My question, though, is in 2 or 3 years, when he's ingrained in the NFL, I don't even care about what the record's going to be. I don't care what we're talking about in terms of playoffs. All I care about is what is the conversation going to be? And but before I let you answer, because here's where I'm going with this. I've been very adamant about this, and this is more like me thinking of like a worst case scenario, which sometimes I tend to do. Brent's Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows. I'm Mr. The Sky is Falling, right? My concern is that, and I don't think it's really a communication thing, because I'm sure the plan is in place between this organization, between Travis Hunter, like they know everything of what the usage is going to be. But my concern is that it's going to cause like a civil war within the fan base where it's like, well, why isn't he out there on defense? We need him right, and all of a sudden like the fan base is going to get agitated because, he's not being used properly. Like, can you see that happening?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Brent Martineau, can you see it happening?
I can see that happening. By the way, I just give you a quick heads up. Great. What a way to go to break. And I thought I must have been on delay watching you guys and listening to you guys because I thought you were in a break right now and we were going to kind of get things set there. But I must have been behind. But I love the way you went to break. Who's the greatest offensive lineman for the Jags? Like the best one recently. What a cliffhanger.
You like that,
Hopefully
don't you?
We have some good answers on the other side. I saw Brandon Linder as one, Brad Meester, Vince Manawai, right?
Yeah, yep, for sure. But like all pros though, Brent?
I mean, you got to go back to Baselli.
Well, that's our point.
I'd go less than great, and I'd go to those guys to really more Meester long term, right? And probably Vince Manawai.
Then he was that beast, man.
Hey, we got that guy locked in.
Yeah, without a doubt, he was that beast. But like, I mean, it's crazy to think that the last obviously all pros, it's a rarity, right? And this team the past decade hasn't had the most success. But it's wild when you think of the last all-pro offensive lineman. Yeah, look no further than, Tony Baselli. It's crazy.
Crazy. All right, so to answer your question, I think there's some concern for Travis Hunter and how this is going to go. And, I'm more positive probably at the outset of this. And, yesterday I said I lower my expectation to more the offensive side of the ball. But I think this is going to be a picked-apart thing, Austen, to your point, right? Like, I mean, this is going to be highly scrutinized. And let's be honest here for a second, the way you bring this up. It's a scrutinized league to begin with. Every little thing gets picked apart. When you're a first-year head coach, every little thing is going to get picked apart even more. You start with a level of scrutiny, I think, and criticism because nobody's ever really seen you do it. This is a lot on the plate of Liam Cohen. Forget about James Gladstone for a second. It's a lot on the plate of Liam Cohen and this staff and people that are in positions for the first time, from Udinski to Campanile on the offensive and defense coordinator side, to get this thing right. And sure, it's a structure all the way from the top down of how you want to do it. But a week to week, a day to day, it's really a lot on Liam Cohen, right? So, I mean, this is a pretty tall task. It's fun. It can be great. But the criticism's going to be pretty lofty, I would suggest.
For sure. Now, there could be a grace period, right? Like, there could be a grace period in terms of saying, hey, Travis Hunter, like, he's got to acclimate to the league. Like, any rookie's got to acclimate, especially a guy that's going to be playing both sides of the ball. So, like, let's be patient. Let's give him some time to get used to his surroundings and everything. But then if we talk about, like, year 2, year 3, and heaven forbid, the Jaguars aren't winning a lot of games, I can see it now. It's going to be a civil war between this fan base of how how Travis Hunter should be used, and it makes me a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. Like it could be a good problem to have because you have such a unicorn, so that's great. But it could get messy. Now, once again, how do you solve all that? If this team is winning, like we hope that they're going to win, then no one's going to care. Like, if this team's winning 10, 11 games a season, winning divisions, who cares? Travis Hunter play offense your entire time. We don't care, like, as long as you're winning. But as soon as that adversity hits, which it's the NFL, so it's going to hit, and there's going to be some losses. There's going to be some games that you should win, that you lose, that you look really bad in. That's when we're going to start saying, well, how come he's not being used this way?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm not afraid of it, Austen. I think it comes with the territory, and this is such a unique player. But in many respects, it's like, let's see if we can draw the parallel to some degree. It's when do you play Blaine Gabbert when you drafted him, right? When do you play Blake Bortles when you drafted him? And when does any franchise play a quarterback that might not be ready and they've got a plan to bridge? When do they put that guy in? When do they put Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City? Well, let's give you some different scenarios just as I paint that picture. Around here in Jacksonville, Jack Del Rio was on the hot seat. Jack Del Rio panicked and said, we got to find 2 weeks in, right? I think it was, who was it? Luke McCown, maybe? McCown, who threw like 4 picks against the Jets or something, is like, okay, I ain't riding with this. Sure. And he had already cut David Garrard and everything else. And then for Bortles, I thought it was a bit early on Bortles. It seemed to work a little bit better. He seemed to handle some of it, but he was still sacked like in 13 games or something 50 times. And then you take a Kansas City Chiefs, and this is where they get fortunate. They have Alex Smith to bridge it, and Smith is an MVP candidate that year. There's absolutely zero noise about playing Patrick Mahomes. Trust Andy Reid, winning games, turning things around, and Alex Smith's playing at a high level. So this is totally contingent on your win-loss record, your success rate. Now, what we don't have here in Jacksonville is anybody on the hot seat with Liam Cohen. He's just starting. I think that's a different animal because that really complicates things for him, but you don't have to worry about that. But if you get off to a slow start, there's going to be more and more criticism. So, like you say, 2 to 3 years down the road, Austen, I don't think that's the way this league works. I don't think that's the way fans work. I don't think that's the way the national media is going to work. Because keep in mind, this isn't just a fan thing. This isn't just a local media thing. This is going to be a national media story. In camp every week, eyes on it, how they're utilizing this guy. And that will come with various levels of criticism, from Skip Bayless to ESPN to NFL Network to you name it. So I really think you can draw the parallel to the quarterback spot, and you get more rope if you're Liam Cohen and the Jags if you're having success, to your point.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I disagree a little bit, because when you draft a quarterback in the first round, there's not always the prerequisite that he has to start right away. Like, sometimes, yes, they do get thrust in when they shouldn't have. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. You've traded up to get Travis Hunter. You've made it abundantly clear that Travis Hunter is going to be playing right away. And you drafted him not because he's just a wide receiver, but because he can play cornerback as well. Because let's have the conversation. Like, if Travis Hunter came out last year as just a wide receiver, would he go before Harrison Jr.? Would he go before Neighbors? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So
I don't know either.
So I mean, but
it'd be close.
It could be close. Hammy, what do you think, man? You followed the college game. You saw these guys come out last year. Like, if Travis Hunter came out last year in that wide receiver draft class, where's he going, you think? Like, in the whole class.
Just as a wide receiver?
Just as a wide receiver. Like, is he better than
He's not
Maserati Marv?
No.
Is he better than Malik Neighbors?
No.
Okay.
He's above BTJ.
Sure.
And he's probably right there with Odunze.
Odunze. Okay. So this is my point. Like, sure, you invested this year. You traded up, gave up some draft capital for what? Yes, a wide receiver, but also a guy that's going to play defensive back. That's why you got him, okay? And if that's going to be the case, then it's almost like, to me, it would remind me of, like, we can say Ohtani, like, should you have pitched him in the playoffs? Right? Like, the Dodgers don't need Ohtani to pitch because they're that great of a team. And guess what? We don't need Travis Hunter to play defensive back if the team's doing really well. Like, if we're competing for a division, throw him in on a nickel package every once in a while. Have fun. We don't need him on defense. Keep him fresh. Keep him healthy. Keep him safe. But if the conversation's going to happen, and guess what? It's probably going to happen where this team's maybe struggling a little bit off the gate or during the season, then the conversation's going to be just like it would have been for the Dodgers if they were struggling in the World Series. Hey, we have Ohtani. He's got an arm. He's a pretty damn good pitcher. Why don't we use him?
Yeah, I get it. I don't know if I fully agree with you guys that he wouldn't have been the first receiver off the board. I think some of the metrics on this guy, the gifted nature of this guy, the total package may have still gone above all those other guys. And maybe that's not right. It's harder to do this because you know what they did. But I I feel like now to say that, I have to also sit here and say, okay, on this team, based on last year's evaluations, could Travis Hunter be the first guy off the board in Jacksonville? Is he better than Brian Thomas Jr.? And I would say some people think so. I mean, listen, whether you think it's hyperbole, and maybe it is, Jeff Lageman said he's a Hall of Fame wide receiver. And he's not the only one that said that. So I kind of believe he would have been, from as gifted as an athlete, the first guy off the board even last year in a loaded wide receiver class, as we found out. So, listen, we can go back and forth and debate that. That's okay. I think what you just said, somebody texted me this morning and kind of gave a scenario for Travis Hunter, and I thought it was an interesting look. So they basically, the way it was presented, think about the usage of him. And the Jags are up by 2 scores in a game. Well, now you're going to really lean on the run game, which takes him out of the game. He can rest a little bit more. He can go play defense now to close out a game a little bit more than he maybe would be in a different situation. Because now that team's trying to throw the ball, come back, everything else, you really lock them down. And I think that's going to be part of the plan. It's like in a 2-minute drill or a prevent defense or something, that's really a good time to get him on the field. So it all really comes down to success, because if the Jags have the lead in that particular situation I just painted, enough where in the fourth quarter they're really trying to run the ball a lot anyway, well, now you don't have to use him as much. At least on the offensive side, you shift them over to the defensive side, and it really works out, right? The puzzle pieces add up. So I think that part is where the game-to-game really comes in. Like, what are the situations? And to your point, Austin, and everybody really is like, how do you get this guy on the field at the most opportune times, whether it's on offense or defense?
No, without a doubt. And that's going to be the question. And once again, if you're winning football games, that conversation is going to be a lot easier. If you're losing football games, then that noise is going to be turned up, and people are going to want the guy to play like every single rep. And keep in mind, I think he wants to play every single rep in offense and defense. Right? Like, knowing him,
I agree,
and how he carries himself, like, and once again, I'm a little afraid of that. Like, what happens if they take him out and he wants to go in, and it's like the press conference ends like, well, I should have been in there. Or if he's on his Twitch channel talking. Like, once again, these are all worst case scenarios right now. But the fact of the matter is, and yeah, we can go back to the Gladstone soundbite, like, this guy was taken number 2 overall. Like, Larry Fitzgerald was number 3 overall. Because you know why? Because we knew what he was in college. We knew he was going to be a Hall of Famer one day. Calvin Johnson was taken number 2 overall. You know why? Because watch that guy's combine. Look at what he looks like. They call him Megatron for a reason. Julio Jones, whatever, 6, I think 7, traded all that capital. Well, because we saw, and Hamby, maybe a little before your time, but I'm sure you remember, like, Julio Jones, like, was a freak in nature. Yeah, I get the same vibes from Travis Hunter, and maybe one day, hopefully, to echo what Jeff Lageman was saying, this guy can be a Hall of Famer. But I didn't look at him in the draft and say, okay, we just got the wide receiver of all wide receivers. I looked at it and said, okay, we just got the football player of all football players.
Yeah, and I think everybody is looking at it that way. I do. I get it. Totally understand it. It's not just a one side of the ball thing. And I think I'm not debating you on a lot of these topics. I really think I'm trying not to play scared right now in Jacksonville because James Gladstone told me not to. But we have scar tissue in Jacksonville. The league, not just Jacksonville, but the league has players that have really, they know their brand, and this guy knows his brand. And just, we know from Jalen Ramsey and other things, like, hey, this can work out wrong if he doesn't necessarily get what he wants, and that sounds bad. I don't want to paint Travis Hunter in that way, like he needs to get what he wants. But he's obviously got a dream and a plan and a vision to be great. And the Jags have wrapped their arms around that vision. And so it's a delicate balance to do what's right for the team, what's right for the young player, and what's on the wish list and the investment that you just put into it, to kind of wrap those things all together. And that's why I just don't think, well, as much as this goes back to, like we've had these conversations, Austin, about cookie-cutter defenses, right? We want to say, oh, that guy's going to play the edge, that guy's going to play linebacker, like the Jalen Walker stuff. He might play all over the place, but we have a hard time saying, okay, where exactly he's going to play because we like to do that in our mind. Well, this has a little bit of a feel of it. Like, we want to be able to say, hey, Liam Cohen, James Gladstone, tell me he's going to play 72 snaps. And if we don't get him 72 snaps in a game, we didn't do our job. I just don't think it's going to work that way, right? I just think every game is going to change. And the only thing I think they need to check the box on right away is to play him on offense and to play him on defense. So, like, if he doesn't get a defensive rep in a game, that's a problem. You know what I mean?
No, without a doubt. But once again, I feel like if he doesn't get enough defensive reps in a game, he could have an issue with it. So, like, I think, listen, there's no exact science here. And this is why sometimes I'm not necessarily with the analytics, because you can say, oh, well, he's going to play 80% on offense and 20%. Well, that 20% can mean a lot of things. That 20% can be a blowout. That 20% can be a game that's going to go to overtime. A lot of things go into it. If I'm James Gladstone, if I'm Liam Cohen, and we've seen it. We've seen all the talk of communication. We've seen now with, keeping the fan base up to date, keeping us kind of included, if you will. We're all in this together. If that's truly the case, then if I'm Liam Cohen, I'm coming out in training camp. I'm coming out during the preseason. Or I'm coming out in week 1 and I'm saying, this is the plan with Travis Hunter. This is how we're going to use him. It's going to be so-and-so. Now, maybe it's going to give you a less competitive advantage because now, teams that you play against can plan against it. But I would rather get ahead of it than, surprise everybody and then all of a sudden Hunter's upset because he's not, getting his reps that he wants. I would establish, all right, the goal is this, almost like a pitch count, where he's going to get this many reps on offense and this many reps on defense. Maybe sometimes like a pitch count, maybe it's the bottom of the 8th and you got a great game going, no one's on base, and you're at 100 and maybe 5 pitches. Let's try to let the pitcher finish the game, right? Maybe there's a case like that where maybe you're going to keep him out there a little longer. But you got to establish a baseline from the get-go of what it's going to look like, and then eventually you can change it and you can evolve it. But you got to come out and say what it's going to be, because if you don't and we're flying by the seat of our pants, then that's where you're going to have the civil war with the fan base. That's where you have the possibility of coordinators being upset. And that's where you have the possibility of Travis Hunter saying, what the hell, man? You guys took me this way and you're using me come on, what are we talking about?
Well, let me ask you this, though. The league is paranoid, right, about giving anything away or tipping your hand or giving any competitive advantage away. If you're super transparent with that part of it, do you do any of those things? Do you tell the opposing team, well, listen, once we hit this or see this or how we play our defenses, keep them off the field, or offenses, keep them off the field in this kind of package? Nope. Are you giving anything up if you're transparent?
No, because here's how I look at it. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm not too worried about it, right? Because, okay, so Travis Hunter's in or out. He's a great wide receiver, but wide receivers come out of the game all the time. Right? So, yes, we have to know when he's in the game, because I'm sure they're going to use some certain types of plays when he's in the game. So if I'm a defensive coordinator, all right, alert, Hunter's on the field. Okay, let's go over these calls. On offense, though, it's different. If I'm an offensive coordinator, I'm going to have 2 packages. I'm going to have one package that we usually run, and then I'm going to have one package when Travis Hunter's not going to be on the field. Because then who's ever going to replace Travis Hunter, I am now picking on that guy. I am now picking on that cornerback.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So I don't think you're really going to tip off a lot by saying, on defense he's going to play so-and-so reps, because the plan's already going to be put into place whether you say it or not. Offensive coordinators are going to have designs when Hunter's in the game and when he's out of the game.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that come to mind. Excuse me while I cough out this asthma or whatever it is.
Somebody get him to Oregon. Get him that Eugene Air right now, everybody. He's not going to make it much longer.
It's uncontrollable, by the way. I just don't know when it's going to start and stop pushing through. But I think there are 3 things, Austin. And I think these are all valid topics, by the way. I don't think this is panic or crazy or being over the top about it. But I think trust is a big thing here. So, we're going to ask in this situation, the Jags are going to ask, we're going to ask if you're behind this. and you're positively thinking about it, to do three things that this organization, quite frankly, hasn't been very good at. And most recently, the last regime wasn't very good at it. Trust between regime and player, trust between organization and fan base. So that's one thing. This takes an enormous amount of trust to be like, hey, we got you, right? We trust you, you trust us, boom. The other side is go back to this elite communication thing. You have to be able to tell and talk and have the hard conversations, but also be very honest with, okay, how you feeling, what we're doing this week versus next week. And I think that alignment will really pay off. You can't have James Gladstone sitting in his office or sitting in the press box or the suite or whatever on a game day and be questioning why Liam Cohen isn't using him. He has to have enormous trust there, and the communication has to be, well, this is why. This is the plan. If I envision Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke or different ramifications of this, like Coughlin and Marone over the years or whatever, my mind goes to, I think those guys upstairs would be questioning the guy downstairs, not vocally, but in their own mind, like, what are we doing? And, I mean, that was certainly the case from Baalke to Peterson and Press Taylor and other things. We have plenty of examples of it. And then the last one is transparency. And we keep using that word, and this regime so far has been very good at it, like very good at transparency. So I think this is more for the fans, and maybe us too, but mostly for the fans, since we're the liaison there a lot of times. And are you going to keep practicing what you're preaching? Are you going to be open to discussing it? And I think what that does to me, and this is what I've been preaching for a long time, is when you have that transparency, what I believe is it builds equity. And it might be a small bit of equity. Wins build the most equity. But if you make the fans part of the game, you bring them in to your circle of some degree, I believe you build equity. And so that might buy them some equity in the early going, hey, to figure it out. Like, you can even say that. Like, we got a plan. But this is going to evolve. It's going to change. It's probably not going to be perfect all the time. As we figure it out, he figures it out. But we're going to figure out the best way to do it. This is new. There's not a blueprint. So that's where I would say, if I was inside the walls and I'm having this conversation with them, like, hey, you got to be transparent here on this. And also be vulnerable a little bit on this. But also be aligned on this, communicate the hell out of it, and then hopefully all of that creates this enormous amount of trust, and then to back that bus up with some wins to build equity even the biggest way, right? The best way as possible. I mean, if you could paint a picture like of how this is going to be good, I think that's what I would say in the last few minutes of making it the best possible situation with one that has potential, a lot of hurdles.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about communication. I'm just trying to picture like what it would have looked like last year if they drafted Travis Hunter with the old regime of like, hey, you know, are you guys gonna?
Not good.
Oh, you know what, Ben? We'll see. We'll see how we use him. We'll see. And oh, dude, it would. Yeah. And oh man, I can only visualize.
You're right. By the way, no, that's like you can bring that up, and that's fair. And we only have 3 months of these guys. So in some ways, just 2 months of these guys. We have no on-the-field stuff and game stuff of these guys.
Sure.
But I think they're better in a lot of those things that if you take your mind back to last year, your concerns.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, boy, this would have been a disaster. I think they've shown us so far they look better in alignment, in communication, in transparency. I don't know about the trust thing. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know all about that yet, but alignment, communication, transparency, if those, and by the way, a plan, right? And I'll throw one more in, an identity, which we talked about yesterday. Like, if you take those 5 words, I think they're off to a way better start than those guys were the last couple of years.
No, without a doubt, right? And this is the cool thing about this new regime, and we'll see how they play, because honestly, Brent, I can see them play it both ways. I can see them being very open and saying, here's how we're going to use Travis Hunter. We're all on the same page. Or I can see them keep it pretty close to the vest and saying, you know, we'll see in week 1. Because, like, yes, for as transparent as this organization is, and it's all about communication, and yes, it's refreshing and it's great, we had no idea, and nobody really had no idea that they're taking Travis Hunter. Like, the calls to Cleveland were in the workings for a while. They kept it under wraps. Why? Because that was a competitive advantage. Like, us not knowing, I heard this, Yoda not saying anything, whoever the other guys on Twitter wasn't saying anything, like, that was a competitive advantage because it allowed other teams not to have a chance to maybe try to trade up. Oh, it's going to cost them that much? Well, let's go and counter that, right? Like, they had a plan. They kept it under wraps. They had a plan. They followed through. They got their guy. Sometimes it is beneficial to stay quiet. Sometimes it is beneficial to not be transparent. I think with this Travis Hunter situation, it doesn't matter because, once again, I shared my piece. I think teams are going to plan regardless if he's playing 1 rep on defense or all the reps on defense. Like, teams will have a game plan for that. So I don't see it being a competitive advantage. Now, maybe Liam Cohen and company feel differently.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
And by the way, I agree with you. I think there would be I think there are probably situations, Austin, where you can say stuff to a point, and then you're like, okay, I'm not saying that much stuff.
Yep.
Because you feel like maybe there is a wrinkle here or there, whatever. Like, they're not going to give us the game plan.
Yeah.
Like you would a team on a Saturday night. Like, I fully understand that. But fascinating. Like, this last 15, 20 minutes on Travis, like, these are real things that come with this. And, I mean, maybe we talk about this on the other side, and I want you to take us to break because you did such a great job doing it a moment ago.
Appreciate
We're
it,
also
man.
going to talk scooting, tooting here in a little bit, too.
All right, take it easy.
I think we have to do – I remember saying this a lot about Trevor Lawrence, and I understand where we are with Trevor. Maybe it didn't live up to generational yet and all that, like not even a maybe, but I get it. Mm-hmm. But if you put yourself back in that window of time, we're saying this guy's a big star already. I don't think we in Jacksonville understand how big of a star he is across the league, how big of a face he is, that he's going to have 7-figure endorsement deals with a watch company in Europe or a, Verizon, Gatorade. He's that guy. Well, this is that guy too. I've had to say a couple of times already, even in our own newsroom and in our world, this wasn't just a big story in Jacksonville because the Jags traded up and got a draft pick. When they go get Josh Hines Allen, it's a big story in Jacksonville. When they go get X player in the first round, top 10, big story in Jacksonville.
Sure.
When they get Trevor Lawrence and when they get Travis Hunter, it's a big story across the league. And I know we all know that because we watched the draft and we know how much the national guys played it up. But I think we have to remind ourselves of that sometimes, too. But with that comes this enormous amount of eyeballs that we're not really used to in Jacksonville. And I just think you paint that picture of all these eyeballs watching this new thing happen. This isn't just a good quarterback. This is a guy doing something that nobody does. And on top of it, the guy that's in charge of it, now that it's been handed off from Gladstone after the draft, is a guy that's never coached a football game in his life as a head coach at this level. So those are fair points, and it's going to be some things to navigate here for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Without a doubt. Hamby, let's go ahead and take the break here. I mean, listen, I think we've learned a lot in this past, 30-minute, 40-minute conversation. I think we've learned that, when you have great power comes great responsibility. And we've never seen a player like Travis Hunter before, so you have to approach and treat Travis Hunter like a player that you never had before. And I think it's with transparency. I think it's with, whether it's with the coordinators, him, the fans, we're all in this together. And I think the more you be transparent, I think the better it's going to be. I think we also learned another thing as well, too. In terms of Brent Martineau giving the pre-fight speech against the gorilla, he's out. Guy can't carry conversation more than 3 minutes. You think he's going to give us the speech, Hamby, to fight a silverback gorilla? Ain't no way. If William Wallace had that Brent Martineau stuff going on with his throat, hey, they could take our life. No way. Scotland got taken over. It's all England now. Hamby, go in your phone book, find a better speech giver because Brent Martineau, unfortunately,
there he is right there.
You've been demoted. I don't have James Gladstone in my phone book, and neither do you. Brent, be honest. This could be huge. Do you got James Gladstone's number?
I won't reveal.
All right, and we're dead. And the gorilla wins. 10-8 round. We'll see you guys at the break.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament, but this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater, plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest and cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost, from Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
In the quest to make the most dysfunctional locker room in NFL history,
Yep.
the Cleveland Browns have now signed Deontay Johnson. Unreal, Hamby. Unreal. I mean, I saw this morning and I thought it was a joke, honestly, just because, okay, let's pound the Cleveland Browns. It was an interesting draft, to say the least. But, Hamby, have we confirmed it? Deontay Johnson to the Browns?
This is legit.
How are we feeling about it, guys?
I mean, they're just welcoming chaos at this point. This is the 2024 version of Antonio Brown.
I mean, the guy was what? With the Ravens, didn't play at all, didn't work out, was with the Panthers for a little bit, played sparingly, went to the Texans, didn't play a lick when they could have used them.
Ravens, and then they
this guy has
to play in the game or something.
This guy has gone to teams that were in dire need of a wide receiver, and they didn't play him. So then Cleveland just goes, that's all good. There's nothing to it. We'll bring him in, and he'll be great. What are we doing?
Austin and Hamby, guys, what I don't get about this in today's – there's two real thoughts on my mind. Like, there are receivers everywhere. I mean, you don't need to do this, right? Like, you don't – this guy, first of all, he's not Antonio Brown from a skill set standpoint, production standpoint.
No.
Pretty good. So, like, there's not that. And then on top of it, like, there are receivers all over the place, like all over the place. They're growing on trees these days, and that's hard to do at the professional ranks. Like, they just do keep doing some head-scratching things up there in Cleveland.
It's just, I mean, Brent, I don't understand. Okay, so you did the draft. Obviously, that fan base right now, and some of the media says, aside from Mel Kiper, who's parading the Browns of having the best draft ever because they got Shedeur Sanders, whatever, in later rounds. But besides that, like, everyone kind of thinks the same thing. Like, wow, you got two quarterbacks, you got a laundry list of running backs. It's like, okay, like, we'll see how this all works out. And by the way, you still have Deshaun Watson on your team too as well, who isn't painted in the best light in the NFL. So you have a lot of things to navigate right now. You have a lot of things to get together. And by the way, you play in, if not the hardest division in the NFL. And now you say, you know what? Let's go and just add like Hamby said, add to the chaos. And bring in Deontay Johnson. Like, I don't get it. Like, I understand bringing in talent, right? Try to elevate everybody around you and stuff. But we asked with Sanders, is the talent worth the distraction? Well, ask yourself with Deontay Johnson, is the talent worth the distraction?
Well,
and Baltimore didn't think so.
I feel bad
Carolina
for Stefanski.
Didn't think so.
I feel bad for Stefanski because I feel like he doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, you said it. You just said it. If the Ravens can't handle this guy, right, or don't think, why are the Browns? Like, why are you taking him? Like, that might just be in a nutshell. Very basic level stuff there. But, listen, I don't get what they're doing. I think they are bringing on problems. And I flip it around to here in Jacksonville, right? And I don't always think it's fair to just look at organizations from the outside looking in, but it appears that they are not aligned in Cleveland. It feels like the owner's stepping in and making some decisions on Shedeur Sanders, whatever else. It feels like you don't really have a profile of a player that you want or a locker room that you want to build. These are things that, like, this is where that word ecosystem comes into play for Gladstone. Like, I don't think they ever bring in a guy like Deontay Johnson in their ecosystem. Right?
Correct.
So, and then the other thing I wanted to flip into that is not necessarily praise for this new regime, because I don't think this part's been said yet, and I just want to keep it real with everybody. I feel like right now I'm a cheerleader for this regime. Like, I see them doing a lot of good things, and I like the fact that they're doing things different. I like the fact in my world and business that it's refreshing a little bit too, and maybe that's where I'm coming from. But I think the fans feel a lot of these same things, and for good reason. I don't know if they just landed a great draft. I think they landed a great player. After that, I'm not really sure. We'll see. I've been around this long enough to know. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that these guys that they picked in the third, fourth round are all pros and everything else. We'll see. There's plenty of time to figure this out and how good this was and how good they are. But So yeah, as much as I'm a cheerleader of them, I think it's important to note that when they ask for a profile of a player, that is not new, even in Jacksonville where things have not gone right, Austen. Like Gene Smith, back in the day when he was drafting you and other players, he was that's where my history with the Jags goes back. Shaq Harris a little bit, but not enough runway with Shaq to know exactly what he was looking for. I just got to town. But it started with Gene. It goes to Caldwell. It obviously goes to Coughlin and Caldwell, if you will. It goes to Urban and Balky, and then Balky and Marone, and now this one. And all of those regimes definitely tried to have – it wasn't willy-nilly. It maybe was a little bit more robust of a profile, maybe a little bit here and there. But there was a profile. I mean, Gene Smith wanted to go find like a small school guy that had a chip on his shoulder, that was still an ascending player that people were overlooking. He also wanted team captains and good people. Like Austen, that was kind of the profile of the player for Gene Smith, wasn't it?
No, without a doubt. And then there was always the rumor, too, like, great guys who, if they're married, even better. Like, that was kind of the rumor going around for a bit. Remember that? Or was that Dave Caldwell? That was Gene Smith. Yeah, it was Gene Smith.
It was Gene Smith, I think. It was Gene Smith. And just to be fair to Gene here, that was coming off a time when I first got to town, Austen, in 2008. And this might have trickled into like 9, 10, and 11 as well. But when I first got to town, like there were a lot of news stories on CBS 47 about players getting arrested or pulled over by cops or this or that. Like that was a big thing in Jacksonville. And I don't know if a lot of the younger fans that watch our show and stuff realize that. But in 2008, 17 years ago, like Hamby wouldn't realize this. The Jags were kind of like, they're all over the news, and it wasn't just for football is my point.
No, you're not wrong, Brent, because this is why I think what great franchises do is, let's be honest, it's the NFL. Like, you're not going to always have sustained success. Eventually, you're going to be down in the dumps a little bit. You got to call yourself back out. But usually, like, you're going to have at least the thought process is if you're a GM and you're replacing the prior GM, well, it's all about course correction, right? Like, the prior GM got fired for a reason, and it all relates to, guess what? They didn't win a lot of football games. So when that new GM comes in, all right, well, how did they do things before? Okay, well, let's do the opposite, right? So maybe Shaq Harris had a certain type of player that he went after, right? Maybe some rough around the edges guys, maybe some of those guys got in trouble. Well, then Gene Smith said, let me do the opposite, right? Like, let me bring in these small school, quality guys. Now, I had a couple underages, but it's all good. But these quality guys that aren't troublemakers or anything, and let's see what we can do with that. And then obviously it didn't work out like we wanted it to, and then he's gone. Like, it's all about course correction. The problem in Cleveland, it's just there's no rhyme or there's nothing to really course correct because you're just flying by the seat of your pants. Like, there's no, okay, I guess we're looking for a bunch of running backs and quarterbacks this year in the draft. Next year, we'll see what we need. There's no identity, and once again, listen, we were down and out for a long time, too, and everybody want to make fun of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I feel like kind of the Browns are really taking that mantle now. They've kind of taken that mantle for a long time. But I think we can all agree on is that there's no rhyme or reason for a lot of things the Browns do. Like, you paid Deshaun Watson how much money, made him the richest guy in the NFL for a while. After the fact of all the allegations, there's a lot of decisions where it just makes you wonder, man, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't think the Jags would have ever made that decision, even though I want to shift over from Gene Smith that you just described and coming out of that window where it's like, hey, can we clean this thing up a little bit, basically? Like, that was part of the task. Almost like, think about Florida and Will Muschamp after Urban. It was like his task, and Will Muschamp will never get enough credit for it. They cleaned it up. Like, there was a lot of cleaning up that needed to be done. And they only won 1 year, and so he was out the door after 4 or whatever it was. But, like, that was a part of his task when he got to Florida. I'm not saying that's the sole part of Gene Smith's task, but to some degree, I think it was part of it. Like, all right, I mean, you don't need to be on CBS 47 every night at 11:05. How about stick to the sports at 11:22 or something like that?
Yeah.
And but then you go to Dave Caldwell. See, this is where I hear these guys now say we want guys that love football. And I thought it was a great quote from Gladstone. I know there's a lot of them, but I thought it was kind of cool perspective that he said, the guys that went to the Senior Bowl and played in these All-Star games, like we kind of notched them up a little bit because guys want to pass on the process now, and that's going to get worse and worse. These guys wanted to put themselves out there. We valued that. That, to me, shows that they love football. All right, so you want guys that love football. And that's harder to find in today's day and age because guys are getting paid earlier and earlier. And do you lose that love? Or are you playing for the right reasons? That's a real deal thing around the league. These guys that they've got look like they love football. Great. I also heard that a lot with Caldwell for 8 years. They wanted guys that love football. And so what I'm trying to tell you here is this isn't new. This isn't new territory. As much as I like this new regime, this isn't reinventing some of this stuff. Captains. When I heard like Cohen say captain, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Gene Smith. When I heard Gladstone say I love football, oh, that's Caldwell. Yeah. When I hear speed, I think of like Urban. Urban was trying to bring speed in, wasn't he? I think that was part of the reason he wanted Kadarius Toney. He got Travis Etienne. He was trying to get this team a lot faster, and he was right. This team needed to be a lot faster. So, and then you get to Balky, and you're like, oh, athletic. I mean, he went to the athlete. He wanted people that you just don't. They're not normally built like that. And I can't say he was totally wrong. That's why he liked Trayvon Walker. You don't find human beings that look like Trayvon Walker. And so he's a good football player. On top of that, you can't teach that stuff. So I'm just trying to say we can get carried away with a lot of it, put a lot of stuff on shirts and everything else. But some of these things are pretty common traits and threads throughout even Jags history the last 15, 17 years where it always didn't go well. So I guess the lesson learned for me is that's cool. You got a profile, you got a plan, cool, but it still ain't enough. You still got to coach it. You still got to scheme it. You still got to play it at the end of the day because we've seen different renditions of this, or at least parts, and hasn't been sustained success.
No, and that's what it's all about, right? Like you need that sustained success, and it's some trial and error in the beginning, right? Like some things are going to work, some things maybe not so much, but you learn and you move on. And once again, to echo kind of what Cleveland, like what has really Cleveland learned through this whole process? Well, let's go over it really quick. You drafted a guy in Shadir Sanders for, and we could say whatever we want about him. There's a reason why he fell where he did. And maybe some of it's talent, but obviously it's some about how, he's carried himself, how he's handled the interview process. Some teams had him off the board completely simply because of what he said in interviews. Like that, okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident then bringing a guy like that to a losing team? Because let's call it like it is. I mean, you haven't had a lot of success. You had a little playoff run, 2 years ago now would have been? But like, I wouldn't put you in the caliber of a Pittsburgh Steelers or Baltimore Ravens. Like, if Sanders went to Baltimore, not sure why he would go there, but if he went to Baltimore, you would feel good about it, right? Because all of a sudden, the ego, all the YouTube stuff, like, you can do that, man, but you better fall in line and be a Raven because we do things a certain way here. And I think there's some organizations that can say that. Cleveland's not that way yet. Jacksonville, I don't think is even that way yet, but we're hoping that Jacksonville gets to that point. Right, we're hoping Jacksonville now, 4, 5, 6 years from now, where, if we're talking about a quarterback like Sanders, once again, don't want to replace Trevor, but I'm just saying if you want to bring him in as a backup role, you have no problem bringing a guy like that in. Or if, for heaven forbid, if you're that desperate for a wide receiver and Deontay Johnson's there, you know what? Let's bring him to Jacksonville because we have the locker room, we have the culture, we have the surroundings where if he acts up, then he's gone. But if he can provide us something, then so be it. Like, that's going to be the goal, I think, Brent, with this regime.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be interesting to see how I thought we've got to check ourselves. 2 years ago, or even last year, going into the season, I thought it was a hell of a locker room. I didn't know that I would come back to, by December or whatever, and say, damn, they really need somebody to throw a helmet against the wall. Like, that's what they're missing. And when, obviously, that was very apparent to us when Trevor got hit. I think there's something else that these guys are targeting that I haven't heard people target in the past, and that's however you want to quantify juice, from what Trevor Lawrence says to what Gladstone Cohen say. But to me, that image is Travis Hunter. However you quantify him as a personality, a persona, a contagious player and person and human. Electricity, I think, is what Gladstone said. I think that's what, maybe that's the one thing in my 17 years here that I have not heard somebody say we need more of that. And I think the Jags are targeting that, Austin.
Yeah, and you absolutely need to, right? Because once again, to talk about course correction, you haven't had much of that. You gave up some draft capital, but that's the course correction. And now hopefully it works out.
All right. Hey, maybe Scootin' Tootin', Rootin' Tootin', Darn Tootin' is one of those guys. I mean, we can get them all in. We're not going to do this every time, but we got to just make Austen cringe a little bit here in the early going. And we got that one painter. First goes paint the player. Daniel Griffiths writes about Tootin', the running back out of Virginia Tech. A lot of conversation about this guy. I think one thing in the article today on actionsportshacks.com that Daniel gets across is it's not just his speed, Austen, 4.33 guy. We've been talking about it. But he's an explosive player in general. I know you did very well in your broad jump. I think he did well in his broad jump. He does well in his 10-second split or 10-yard split or whatever. All these different metrics. He's a pretty dynamic player and athlete, which, because straight line speed in football sometimes isn't just enough, right?
Yeah, no, without a doubt. This is my brother in the broad jump. I'll take it. Brent, it's wild because I'm not sure if you're listening before you came on, but the NFL comparison for him, at least according to NFL.com, was Isaiah Pacheco, which me and Hamby both agreed that doesn't seem right because this guy ran a 4.3. Did you know what Isaiah Pacheco ran in the combine?
No, but you're going to surprise me.
Hamby, hit him with it.
4.37.
4.37. Because you think of Isaiah Pacheco, right? But you don't think of him being elusive. Yeah, you think of him running through people.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I didn't really get where the comparison came from, whatever. But nevertheless, speed is speed, man. And the way you visualize Tootin', I think, is a guy that if you just give him just a little hole, if you get him in space, whether it's on the edge, you want to pitch it to him, if you want to run between the whatever the case, just get him an open area. Watch the highlights of it. If he has an open area, man, he might be gone. He's the home run hitter. And yeah, you see all the stats here, what Dan Griffiths bringing to the table. Second hardest running back to tackle in the draft, which once again, you have a preconceived notion. Okay, this guy's a speedster. This guy's elusive. Okay, so maybe an arm tackle here that'll bring him down. That's not the case. And maybe that's more where the Isaiah Pacheco comparison comes from, because Pacheco does run hard. He runs with bad intentions. We always talk about it. But, man, if you want to combine that speed with that ability to run through somebody as well, now you got something, Brent.
Yeah, it's interesting to me, Austen, here on this guy. And I look at it both ways. The Pacheco comp is really pretty good, especially if his 40 time is that. I also think he's a kickoff return guy. If you look at what Daniel puts out there, I like the missed tackle rate. I'm not as concerned about the fumble rate because I think it's a coachable thing. I think we've seen that. I think what people feel, I'm going to use ETN as the example for a lot of this comp here, because ETN might be the expendable guy in all of this too. But I also think we got to be a little careful because I'm a fan of ETN, and I'm not going to go back on that. And I think people can be critical of him, whatever else. We all can like him more than the next guy. That's fine. But I'm not going to say, this guy's going to take over for ETN. I'm a believer in ETN. The guy has produced at this level. The guy has these missed tackle rates that are very good over the last couple of years at times. The guy went through a little bit of a fumble streak and fixed it. He fumbled one time in the last 500 and something touches, it was huge against Miami.
That's good.
So we remember it. So we think he's he's not a fumble guy. He's just not a fumble guy. 500 plus touches, one fumble. That's incredible. Really. It just was a big fumble. I think the thing that I haven't seen coming off that injured year from ETN that I thought I would see more of, Austen, is what you maybe hope for in this guy, is that when you do get the edge, or when you get through an off, a whatever run and get to the outside, you can get that angle and go the distance. We have not seen that from ETN. In fact, I feel like ever since he got hurt that first year, we started to see him get caught a little bit. And we were like, well, maybe he's just not back to full speed yet. But he's never really run away from everybody. I actually think Tank Bigsby even ran away from people a little bit more last year than ETN. So I think he's got a lot of great qualities, Etienne does, but I don't know if the speed that we thought we saw in college has actually translated to the NFL. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. We saw it his first year back, right? Because his first year he got hurt, and then second year he comes in and, kind of has a pretty good career season. And I think we all expected, okay, he's just going to build off that, and he's going to be the home run hitter. And, yeah, to echo your point, we haven't really got that. I think what it comes to now is, so what, he's got a year left here in Jacksonville. You don't think they're probably going to bring him back, but you never know. But, do you keep him around then, Brent? Because, yes, he has shown that he's definitely serviceable. There's been some highlights. Is that a guy that you keep around? Is that a guy that, let's assume I think you're more like the 6th-round pick, maybe a 5th-round pick. Do you try to get that 5th-round pick, 6th-round pick? Or do you just kind of, do you use him for the final year and then maybe go your separate ways? I guess that's the biggest question is, does Tootin replace Travis Etienne? And I know what Maurice Jones-Drew would say, right? The more backs, the merrier. I get all of that. But is Tootin kind of now the guy?
Well, here's my perspective on it, okay? I think when we talked to Mojo, we didn't agree with him necessarily that, hey, if Jeanty was the pick, you'd still have these 3 great backs. You'd have 3 really good backs. Not great, 3 really good backs. And I look at that as a position of strength. You could say, hey, we got some of the best backs in the league. You also know that position gets hurt sometimes, so you might need some more. Kind of like having the 2 tackles and Walker Little as your backup. Does it make complete sense? No, but you might need it, and they needed it. Mm-hmm. But can you figure it out mentally, or do you know your role? Can you keep everybody happy would be the thing. I think with the move with Tootin in the 4th round rather than Jeanty in the 1st round allows you to navigate that much easier. Because right now, the depth chart, I don't know who the starting running back is, but it's either Bigsby or Etienne 1-2, and right now it's Tootin 3. So okay. I think you can navigate it a little bit better. So to answer your scenarios, I would say I don't think there's a chance Etienne's off this team by the time the season starts. Yeah. I think he's still on the team.
Yeah.
I think he's got a role.
For sure.
I think what's interesting I think what's interesting is by the time you get to the trade deadline, which they've now moved back to late October, or might even be early November, that's where he could become expendable depending on how Tootin is doing and you are doing as a football team, because you can go get more draft capital, even if it's a 5th, 6th round, whatever it is, to try to trade up next year and get back in the 1st round.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Travis Etienne is a lot more valuable right now to the team than what you'd get for a 5th or 6th round pick. The following year.
Yeah.
He just is. Now, if you want to wait till the trade deadline, if there's a team that's knocking on the doorstep to the playoffs and maybe there's a running back injury, you get more for him, I agree. I think you stand to gain more by keeping Etienne in your locker room. And then maybe you let him go before the trade deadline. Maybe there's a team that's desperate and you get more capital. But it makes no sense to me right now, unless they think, all right, well, he's only going to complicate things, right? Tootin's the guy. No, you still got to earn your reps. He's excuse me, he's not Ashton Jeanty, right? This guy was taken in the 4th round. So, let's bring it. Let's let him acclimate a little bit. We have Travis Etienne, you have Tank Bigsby, and let's fit him in accordingly.
Yeah, I would say this, Austen, too. I think. Let's see. How do I phrase this? I think he's a great soldier, a great teammate. He's not super me, which is kind of weird from the running back position. I think he believes in his skill set, but he also is a good teammate, is my impression. Doesn't cause it doesn't cause a rift when Bigsby is getting more reps. He's very supportive of Bigsby last year, right?
Yeah.
A lot of running backs would not have been, in my opinion. I actually would like to see him this year have more of a chip. You could be a good teammate still and all that stuff, but forget about Bigsby, man. This is my running back room. And he needs to have a chip because he's got to have a huge year or a big year to go get paid and land with somebody else.
Of course.
Massive year for Etienne. But I would like to see him be less, hey, let's go, Tank. Rooting for you.
Yeah.
Instead, and be you know what I mean, without being super selfish and everything, whatever that line is. But I just feel I don't know if he's enough of that. at least when he talks to us, like you just don't sense that at all with ETN. I mean, you really sense that he's trying to like bring him along. It's almost like he's a backup quarterback bringing this franchise quarterback along. Like, I don't need that, man.
I hear you, man.
Trying to take your job.
No,
like,
for sure.
Go take it back.
No, I get that. I just think, Brent, like, to speak on more generalities, I just feel like that's kind of the mindset of a running back, which it doesn't make a lot of sense because you think of the ego positions, you think of wide receivers and cornerbacks, obviously, but, like, why wouldn't running backs be right up there as well? Like, the ball's always in your hands. You run the risk of injury. Your playing career is not that long on average. So, like, why wouldn't you try to maximize it? Why wouldn't you try to have this ego and say, hey, this is my team, this is my rock, I'm getting the ball, things like that? But you don't say, like, Saquon Barkley, ultimate team guy.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, like, when Justice Hill comes in, ultimate team guy. It's crazy, like, how Christian McCaffrey, I don't really know. Like, I feel like he's a team guy as well. Like, the running back position, it's not all me. And like, yeah, Saquon held out that 1 year for a couple years as he should have. But, like, how many times do we see wide receivers saying, pay me more money, I want more money? Like, that's a dime a dozen. That's the status quo of a wide receiver. With running backs, man, that's a rarity.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, and nobody loves Maurice Jones-Drew more than me, but like Mojo wouldn't be handling it like that. Mojo would be like, "Give me the rock, give me the damn ball." Like he was like that. He was like that when he played. You played with him from the sideline to in front of a microphone. I mean, and he wasn't like this crazy distraction because of it. He was like, "Give me the ball, like give me the rock," right? Like, and that's kind of what you do want out of almost anybody on the offensive side, if you can do it within reason and without being some crazy diva, the far end of that. And I really just feel like ETN needs – I told somebody recently that. I said, I feel like he needs to have more of a chip. He needs to be – has to have this will to be, like, great more than, like, I see. And I don't know him all the time. I'm just saying from what I see. That's just my perception. And there's a balance there, like I said. But if we can get that ETN and we can get a motivated ETN, I think, like, this dude's still got stuff, man. I think he's a good player. He put up 1,600 yards from scrimmage. He was good. He ran from in between tackles. Nobody thought he would. The thing that I go back to our Daniel Griffiths article one more time, presented by That One Painter First Coast. Check him out at thatonepainter.com/first-coast and check out the article on actionsportsjacks.com. I don't know if he really has that home run ability much anymore. Like, I don't know. That's what I thought was coming into the league when Urban picked him. And I haven't seen a lot of that from Travis Etienne. That's probably my biggest criticism of him from a playing standpoint. Other than that, I mean, he's broken tackles. He holds on to the football overall, especially after that one little blip where he had like 4 or 5 fumbles in a couple-month stretch. Mm-hmm. And he goes through I think he runs way tougher than anybody thought he would run in the NFL. Like, way tougher. And I think, by the way, the coach criticism of him from the last regime is, does he see it well enough? Does he see the hole? Like, this is where you'll get people that be like, okay, you can complain about the offensive line, but the back's got to help the offensive line. Does he help the offensive line enough? I think that's where you start to – that's way inside football where I don't know. But I think you do hear some of that about ETN. But just to go back to it, man, I'm an ETN fan. I think ETN's going to be around. I think how long he's around this year is based on performance and probably Tootin and his development. I don't think ETN's around after this year. I mean, I think this is his final year in Jacksonville, no doubt about it. But he could finish it off with a really nice season and not a bad career in Jacksonville over 5 years. He just lost the 1 year to injury. Last year was very inconsistent. The other 2 years, not too bad, and hopefully could end it with a really strong year this year. And, it's not a 10-year career in Jacksonville, but the running back position just doesn't work there.
Bro, let me ask you this. When it's all said and done, and we'll see, I assume we'll get a pretty good version of Travis Etienne this year. I think he'll come out motivated. I think he'll come out saying, hey, this is my opportunity to make a lot of money. Well, let me go out here and show on for, my city. When we look back on ETN, much like we look back on Leonard Fournette, was he worth where you drafted him at?
I don't think so. No. I would say no. I do think it's a lot different drafting a guy at 25 than it is at 4.
Agreed.
I think, I'm usually way more forgiving on this topic than most people are. But I would say, outside of that, what the heck year was it? It was 22, right? 22, he had like the 1,600 yards from scrimmage. It was really good. Yeah. Really good. And then went to the playoffs. Outside of that, like there hasn't been enough of that. And when you're a 25th overall pick, and quite frankly, the third round back starts to take your job last year, who really was maligned the year prior, that's not a good sign. And then when you draft another guy because you're like, all right, we got to build this up, we got to elevate the room, we got to also start planning for down the road, that's not a good sign. So I can't sit here and say he was probably worth the 25th overall pick. But I also think we shouldn't bury him and say he's done, because I think he's done more than people want to admit.
Oh, yeah.
And has the capability to add to this team this year. Like, I think he's a good piece for this team this year if they get the best of Travis Etienne.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, this will be the telling year. And guess what, man? I don't even look at the first year. Like, it wasn't his fault that he got hurt. Like, so we want to label some guys are injury prone and all this stuff. Like, it was a freak thing, all right? Sometimes freak things happen. So, like, I think the first year was a wash. I'm not going to fault him for the first year. But I think when you look at the years that he did play, that he was on the field, yeah, I mean, he came off the gates hot, and it's like, okay, I see Urban's vision. I see why he was brought here. And then, obviously last season was just kind of like, was it the offensive line? Was it the scheme? Was it the coach? We don't know, right? But like we said, this year is going to be huge for him for a lot of reasons, for money purposes, for him to kind of just have a little redemption. And obviously with a new scheme and a new coach who loves to run the football, there'll be plenty of opportunities for him to do that.
Hamby, do me a favor here, Bree, while we're on this. Can you just go to the 21 draft and what was picked after? Who was picked after Etienne at 25? And I think what's interesting here too, Austen, is not too far from where Etienne was picked. Remember, Jags had 3 picks in the top 33, which is crazy. And they got Trevor, and they got Travis, and they got Tyson.
That's
and
right.
If let's just say Tyson Campbell was picked at number 32, and it was the first round, I think we would have a similar kind of conversation as we're having about Travis Etienne. It's like, not really what you hope for out of the first round. Not bad. Like, I still believe something's there. I think they can still maximize. The only difference is Tyson obviously plays a position where you sign him, it's a premium spot, and now you're going to get another 4 years probably to figure out just how good he is. But they've also been banged up at times. So I kind of put him in the same bucket. It just feels different because Tyson's the second-round pick. I mean, they're really 8 picks apart, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, here you go. So you got Najee Harris was taken right before him at 24. Then Travis at 25. Then Greg Newsome, Rashad Bateman, Peyton Turner, never heard of him. Eric Stokes, not with the same team. Greg Rousseau.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid. Odafe Owe, haven't heard of him really. And then Joe Tryon to the Bucks, haven't heard of him either. The next running back that was taken after him was Javonte Williams at 35 to the Broncos. And that was the last running back that was taken for a long time.
But like other like notable names, Brent. Well, I was gonna say you had like Javon Holland went in the second round.
Yep, Landon Dickerson, Christian Barmore.
Yep.
Trevon Moehrig.
Nico Collins went in the third round. Creed Humphrey.
Owusu Koromoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So hey, listen, and I don't know who, but like Moehrig, right? We really liked him coming out. Austen, didn't we?
Yep. I loved him.
Yeah, we really liked him. And so would the Jags be better taking a guy like that who we know we liked? This is why I want to do it this way, is we know we liked him coming in the draft at 25 or 33. Now, would they have traded up for his – oh, no, they had the pick. They had the 25 pick. They didn't trade up. So 25 or 33, are they better off with him? Or a couple other players, but we just know more. Like,
well, Barmore is really the one, Brent, because remember the Barmore thing was like, why didn't they get him? Like Christian Barmore
it's true,
was,
but Barmore comes with now the way it's hard to really calculate Barmore because of the blood clot stuff. You don't even really know where his career's going right now.
well, isn't he slated to play, or is he still out? I thought he was.
I think he's slated to play, but I do believe there's concern over it. So,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, okay, but Barmore could definitely Morig, especially like at Tyson's pick, right? Because they were both available at 33.
Yeah.
So, like Russo's an interesting one. Premium position instead of a running back. See, that's the other way you look at this. Like, could you have taken Russo? We're talking about edge depth and everything else. Like, you take Russo, and instead of ETN there, you get a premium position. Now, what do you do at number 1 the next year with Trayvon Walker?
Yeah.
Who knows? They probably still draft. I think they still draft Trayvon Walker because they thought they could play 3 different positions. So
Sure.
they probably would have drafted him anyway, maybe even more than Hutchinson because they would already have Russo. So, I mean, listen, you could say Russo and Morig rather than ETN and Campbell, maybe. But I don't think it's like this crazy gap either.
No, I mean it's not, because look at like Greg Newsome. I don't know how is he really doing in Cleveland. I guess he's doing all right. Rashad Bateman isn't really doing nothing in Baltimore. Like Peyton Turner, Eric Stokes, Greg Rousseau. Like Greg Rousseau is the guy that sticks out to me. Like you could have had him. You went at number 30, but I mean you had 4 picks before 30, where it's just like they're just guys. And guess what, Travis Etienne, like you can call him a guy, but he had some production that second year.
Yeah, he definitely did. Hey, before I get out of here, let's do a little Into the Archives. This is going to be a fun memory from 1986, presented by Republic Services. Check out recyclingsimplified.com. Make sure you recycle in your home and business and make things more efficient here for Republic Services. Recyclingsimplified.com will show you the easy steps to do it. And how about this? Hamby found this one way before Hamby was born. Before you were born, probably, Austin. Bo Jackson, Tampa Bay Bucks, right, Hamby?
Tampa Bay Bucks, first overall pick in 1986 on this day.
Wow.
And he spurned him.
Well, yeah, because what pick number was he again?
Number 1.
Wait, he was 1?
Yeah.
I thought, okay. Because this was when he announced he's going to play baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought like he was like a 6th or 7th round pick his first time, because he's been drafted twice. Are you sure he's taking number 1 overall? Okay, I guess he was. Okay.
He went back in the draft. Yeah, he was taking number 1 overall, and he said, I don't want to play, so I'm going to play baseball. And that's why he got back into baseball. Now, the Raiders year, so after he did that, the following year, the Raiders drafted Jackson in the 7th round with the understanding that he would play football and baseball. So he was actually a first number 1 overall pick and then a 7th round pick. And remember, like the Bucs at that time are like one of the laughing stocks of the NFL, and they made themselves even a bigger laughing stock.
What a nightmare. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine that talk radio, Brent? That conversation on the stream? That you lose your first round pick?
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
All of a sudden, Travis Hunter wants to go into the, I don't know,
Streaming,
stuffy business. Stuffy business or something. We lose out. Oh, man.
Hey, it's pretty interesting, right? Like, if you think about it, I got a thought after this, too. I got this thought coming up, and then you just sparked something else. But, so it's almost 40 years ago, right? 40? Yeah, 40 years ago. And the Jags getting Travis Hunter, while it's not too sports star like Deion and Bo Jackson, it has the feel of it, which is pretty interesting if you look back almost 40 years ago when this happened for Bo Jackson. The other thing that I think about with Bo Jackson is, like, you and I talk about this a bunch with, like, big-time athletes, and we always bring up Mike Tyson, who's one of the most, like, fascinating athletes of all time. Facts. I think Bo, like, even, like, Ken Griffey Jr., you've got Shaq, you've got Michael Jordan, LeBron James, you've got all these different guys. I think Bo Jackson continues to be one of the most overlooked at or, like, forgotten about athletes. And once we remind people, like, no, I didn't forget about him. It's like, yeah, but you kind of did. Like, you forget about the Bo Nose stuff, and you forget about the baseball card and the shoulder pads and the and the baseball bat. And I just don't think younger people, like a Hamby, wouldn't. Hamby, how much does Bo Jackson resonate with you as a guy who obviously wasn't even close to being born when he was doing his thing, and you probably didn't even play Tecmo Bowl because that's the other reason why you would have liked Bo Jackson.
Yeah, didn't play that. Most of my appreciation from Bo Jackson comes from old documentaries where I see his insane arm from the outfield throwing a guy out at first base on a double play or breaking the bat over his knee, or just his times from the plate to second base. Honestly, most of them come from baseball.
The catch on the wall, right?
Yep,
Running up the wall.
Running up the wall. Yep.
I mean, we played. I always tell the story, Bo Jackson. Like, I have no idea how true it is, but we played in Montgomery, Alabama, Division II World Series, 1999, and this field, like beyond this field, was this hill, and there was a house up on the hill, and I mean, the field was I don't know, it was like normal fields, like 380, 400 feet to center field. Then there was a hill that went up, like it had to be some 100 feet past the fence, but it was elevated, like. I'm some 40, 50 feet in the air, and then there's a house sitting up there. And the story is, now with an aluminum bat, that Bo Jackson hit that house. And he's a right-handed hitter, and this would have been right center field that he hit that house. I have no idea if it's true, but if it is, that thing had to carry like some 600 feet.
It's unreal, man. Yeah, like, I missed out on most of them. But like in my infancy, I obviously it was ingrained in me. Like, I mean, I had a high school. So when I played football, I had my Lucky T-shirt that I wore underneath my pads, and it said Bo Knows on it, and it was like a cutoff thing. It was neon. Yeah. It was neon orange, and like that was obviously the whole promotion. It's just, yeah, man. Like, Travis Hunter. Like, I'm not gonna put him in the Bo Jackson category because to me, Bo is one of one. But who's to say that Travis Hunter can't be like this next generation of just the way that Bo Jackson was perceived, right? And keep in mind, how he was perceived in that era will be a lot different than Travis Hunter and how he's perceived because now of social media and marketing and YouTube videos and all that stuff. But if the Jaguars can win, if Travis Hunter can play both sides really well, like, yeah, you could have like another Bo Jackson type mania.
Yeah, pretty wild. Bo is so big. Obviously, he gets hurt and his career shortened. And but we met him a couple years ago at the I think it was the Shrimp then, not the Suns. He was doing something there, I think, with his barbecue sauce. And he's not known as the most approachable guy, to be honest. Like, he's very almost introverted, I would say, and he really protects kind of his circle. Yeah. And you could feel that, but it was still really cool to kind of see Bo Jackson. Like, just feels like almost a mythical guy in many ways. There are very few athletes that do that, especially to me because we're around him enough. And I just felt you kind of feel that way with Bo Jackson. Well, my point of that is just saying, like, I'm not in awe of athletes much because we're around them. But, like, Bo's a guy, like, when you're around, you're like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's kind of the aura that he gives off. One other thing, you just jogged something, and I have no idea. By the way, that's our Into the Archives segment presented by Republic Services. Check out recyclingsimplified.com. Do we get to a point sometime, like we have a player in this draft, remind me who it is, that has his own dog breeding business that the Jags drafted. Do we get to a point, it might be Tootin. I think it is Tootin.
Yeah, it was Tootin.
That has it. And do we get to, is there going to be an athlete, Austin, that with all the NIL, with all the savviness of these kids, that starts a business of some kind, super smart, whatever it is, does get drafted, and it's like, maybe gives it a go for a year, and it's like, wait a minute, I can be like a trillionaire doing this. I'm smart, I'm business savvy, the business is booming, I got to focus on this, see a football. Like, I would not be surprised by that at some point in time in the near future to see a player do that.
I mean, I've never thought about it that way, but I think it's justified. I mean, we've seen players quit after a year, not even for money. Like, for instance, Chris Borland, the former Wisconsin linebacker who played at San Francisco. I think he retired after a year, and he was a starter, and he was doing really well. But his thing was more fears like, concussions and CTE, and that's great on him. That's his journey. I mean, if you keep thinking about like what NIL is going to become in the next 5-10 years, I feel like social media and how we watch information are entertained, that's going nowhere. Yeah, I think you have some, Brett. I think eventually it's going to get to the point where it can be like a big name player with a big name brand where people will question to take him because they're afraid, like, does he love the game? I mean, it's kind of like Sanders a little bit, I feel like. But, like, imagine, like, the number one pick of the draft where it's like, this guy's got a conglomerate of social media. It's like a social media enterprise, right? And, like, he's streaming everywhere in front of millions of people. I'm sure he's making, equity off that. And the team's going to be like, do we risk it? Do we risk all of that distraction for the top player in the draft? Because let's be honest, like, yeah, people love the game of football and everything, and yeah, players play for different reasons. But if you can sit on your YouTube channel and make, $2 million a month or whatever the case may be, I mean, it would be kind of asinine not to do that, right?
Yeah, well, not only that, Austin, I think, like, you could say, hey, I don't really care about playing. I just think you could be very much more passionate about a business entity that you have. Like,
sure.
The guy that comes to mind for me is Myron Rolle out of FSU. He's a Rhodes Scholar, right? He's now a surgeon. Like, by the way, he gave the NFL a go. He wasn't like a top 10, 15, 20 pick or anything. But he gave the NFL a go for a bit. But you knew his career passion was always to get into this field.
Yeah,
and now he is. I mean, he's an amazing story. And so I don't necessarily look at it as just a bad thing, like I don't love football. It's just that I love something else better. I got something else brewing bigger. I mean, that might just be life sooner or later. And you never thought about that because kids didn't have the money to be able to build something like that. But if you combine the smarts, the aptitude, and now the ability to have money earlier than ever to start a venture like this and be entrepreneurial, you might get a situation that you're just like, why am I going to go play football? Or after a year, like, what am I doing? I got all this in front of me,
I hear you. And it's a great point. And once again, it's a point that I've never thought of before. I just think it's crazy because I think back to like when I played back in 2010, I was drafted. And at that time, it seemed like the NFL did not like free thinkers. They didn't like guys who have like other things going on outside of football, right? Like, yeah, you have families and everything, but like your main focus has to be football 24/7. Like that's what teams are looking for. Guys who love the game of football. We fast forward now to 2025 and like, yeah, you're still looking for those passionate guys that love the game. But now the NFL, like, especially I feel like the Jaguars, they almost embrace free thinkers. They almost embrace guys where it's like, yeah, this is what you do, but it doesn't have to be who you are. I think that's a pretty cool thing. Like, honestly, I wish I would have grew up in that era because I feel like sometimes I didn't fit in the NFL because I thought for myself a little bit too much.
The colleges, programs, the college programs and the NFL programs, hopefully that's happening in Jacksonville, that believe in that live by that are true to that, probably in this day and age are going to blossom. If you can be on that, because that's a tough thing to do now. That's an old, stodgy, that doesn't fit in the way we've been raised for hundreds of years. And it's really changed overnight. All right, guys, got to get going. Got a big ball game. The umpires are ready. I got to go yell at them. Here's the deal. Win 2 games, we're in the playoffs. Lose 2 games, out of the playoffs. Split 2 games today with Santa Fe. The Daytona State Falcons will have to play a playoff game to get in the playoffs. A lot on the line today, fellas. It's going to be stressful.
A lot on the line. Hey, Brent, man, just breathe through it. I know that's a problem for you right now, but just breathe through it as best as you can, man. Kaylee's got this. We can't wait to hear about it tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys. Get us to break, Austin. You've been so good at it.
All right. Well, when we get back here, Casey Kurtz coming in, going to do a little play-by-play. Maybe we have the Gorilla vs. 100 people to break down. I wouldn't mind breaking down. Hey, honestly, and Casey, if you're listening, if you want me to break down something, let me break down the Gorilla vs. 100 people simulation.
Or just any animal fight video.
I mean, can you imagine Joe Rogan trying to break that down? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right. Next, maybe we break down 100 people versus a gorilla, but we do some play-by-play with Casey Kurtz.
Most of us know how to throw. but you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jag Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242. You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing. Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater, plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon-Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost, from Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training, along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
Welcome back. Brent and Austen. Jason Hamby pushing all the right buttons. Casey Kurtz in the studio for some games. Casey, before we get into your games, some play-by-play, because I know you like to hit your deadlines. You don't like to get bumped.
I do not.
There's a time slot. We're already a little behind schedule,
No, we're
but we'll
good.
get you there. Okay.
When Brent's not here, we're good.
Okay.
Is that your headphones or mine?
Those weren't mine.
Okay, cool. Great.
100 people,
Yeah.
one gorilla.
It's funny. I was actually going to bring this up because I didn't think you guys were.
It's everywhere.
Well, I know, but you're not there usually.
Oh, I know, but hey,
So
even
what I'm
out
hearing
there-
is you're on Twitter?
No, I saw on Facebook. What?
Facebook?
Yeah.
You're on Facebook?
Hit the Austin has become the olds button.
olds
Do we
button?
have that?
We should get it.
We're working on it.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
That's the oldest thing you've ever said.
I-
You're going after the olds and you're like, yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
What do you want me to do?
My dad sees stuff on Facebook.
All my friends are on Facebook still.
Olds.
Oh, yeah,
Got
we're
'em.
olds. Oh, we're olds.
Got 'em.
Yeah, but it was on Facebook. But
Really?
also,
It made it to Facebook. That's crazy.
But also, like
That shocks
literally, dude, it's everywhere though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Big deal. So, yeah, I was going to talk about that today. I don't have the video. I didn't know there was like a simulation video.
There's dude, the simulated video.
Really?
You gotta watch. Hey, you should try to find the simulated video for a second because, like,
If I would've
it
known,
makes
I would've gotten
sense because it looks like people are like, so the humans get tired, which
Sure.
adrenaline dump, and the ape just keeps going. But like the way they simulate the ape punching, which it makes sense. Like he would just be going crazy, ballistic. Not like Hamby thought for a second is like Muhammad Ali, like just pumping jabs.
No.
You're gonna go full ape mode.
Yeah.
But like these people go flying like 200 feet in the air, which isn't really. I mean, like they'll go flying,
But not that far.
but they're not gonna go to the heavens.
That's fair. I mean,
But anyways, what do you think?
Where are we at on that? Because like I've been thinking about this a lot actually.
Casey, we broke down the first 30 minutes of the show.
Oh,
Was
my
just
bad.
it was no. But I'm saying it was regarded to what would we do, who would we call, and we made a rule. So it has to be people in your contacts. So between
See, I don't like that.
it's got to be people that you know.
No, because here's the thing. If this ever, like, yes, if I was organizing, it would have to be people you know for sure.
Yeah,
But if as a world we were organizing this,
we're gonna send our 100 best.
I think they. No way. See, but like, what are the other idiots doing? Like, you guys should all be in there.
Hey, because people are nervous.
I don't. But you showed up.
Hey, see ya. Thanks for playing. There goes Hamby's neck.
See, but like, why are people standing by like while he's eating somebody? Get in there. Get on his back. Like, you guys suck. Like, this is what I'm saying. If you, oh, this guy's in trouble.
Hey, Hamby, quick show the hand. Be careful now. Okay.
So like, here's my thing.
Thought he was getting ready just to
Rip him in half.
Yeah.
If seriously, if we just got 100 people from Walmart, like, yeah, that's what would happen. People would be scared.
Sure.
But if we as a world did like a sign up thing,
We are the world.
yeah, and you like vetted it out,
We are the Yep.
you can't just stand there and watch other people get demolished. Like, you have to get in there while he's distracted. That's the whole point of it.
Yes, but we also need. Okay, I mean, but here's the thing, Casey. If we recruit 100 people, like, then yeah, we're just going after like military guys, like like people that are like wired for chaos.
Yeah.
Like, what we can say, okay, give me Brock Lesnar, for instance.
He'd be on my list.
I don't think so. Because how do we know Brock Lesnar ain't going to see a gorilla and just go, no.
Well, you got to take risks at times. Like, yeah, but you
See
got to,
it?
so you can't just go get people from Walmart and be like, hey, good luck.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Look, this is what's going to happen.
But again, why are these people, I understand it's simulation, but like,
hey.
60 to 70% of your team is standing back like, oh crap. Like, if you,
Because, Casey, like, this is the thing. You can try to plan this out as much as you want. It's going to be chaotic. Like, because
these idiots are punching each other.
But here's the thing about, like, if you hire like the greatest minds of like a military general.
Yep.
If you're fighting a different like army, you have a good idea how the army's going to react. This is a guerrilla. There are no rules. The guy can do anything. Huh?
I know.
Okay. So like, how are you going to plan? Like, I already planned it out. Trust me. Casey, I'm way ahead of you here.
Somebody
all right?
commented, "Where's the stamina bar?"
Exactly. But Hamby's going to be the sacrifice. We already established it.
Sorry, buddy.
And listen, with great power comes great responsibility. Hamby, you're going to be the distraction. So we sacrifice Hamby. His story will be told.
No,
okay? What we do in this life echoes in eternity. Gladiator. Okay? So Hamby's, distracted. He's running around, showing up that speed. Cool. Casey, you're there. So go ahead and okay. So we're there. We got to go for the eyes. we gotta take the eyes out. If you take the eyes out, because here's the thing: if you take the eyes out, then you can run away and let him kind of bleed out a little bit, and then we're fine. Now you have to be careful; he's gonna go crazy.
Yeah,
but that's the only play.
Somebody commented some of their top draftees.
Oh, for this,
Brian Dawkins, Bobby Portis, Sharkeisha. My mama, that time she caught me flipping her off behind her back.
I like that.
I like that.
That's a good
2015 Brett Belima, Fletcher Cox, Ron Artest, Roofnet Odor.
Ron Artest is a good one.
Wait, did he say Brett Bielema?
Tony Allen.
Brett, that coach.
Yes. All right.
Pretty good list.
Okay.
Ron Artest is good. See, like eyes too, and also this is going to sound foul, but the other spot would be.
Oh no! Yeah. Yeah. But once again,
I gotta go eyes first for sure.
Eyes all day, because like I feel like you can at least if you grab the lower extremities, we can call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta like rip and dude.
You gotta pull the Paul Heyman, get in there and twist.
Okay, but if you do that, what is the monkey just gonna be like? Please don't. No, he's gonna.
Yeah,
he's gonna be. So how do you get in there? Like
Again,
this is why the eyes.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Now, if there's 100 people.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna tell you tomorrow, Brent, take the day off tomorrow. Hopefully, Kaylee, wins and everything. But take
these
the day
boys
off.
Are big.
But to take the day off tomorrow, because here's what we're gonna do. Tomorrow's gonna be a 3-hour episode of what we're gonna do. We're gonna plan it out. We're gonna have our 100 people draft. Right, we're gonna draft 100 people. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have our mission, and then we're gonna figure out how to beat this gorilla. But anyways, please continue.
I think it's doable. I really do. Not like, again, it can't be us. Because, like, I hear Hamby as a distractor.
It's got to be us.
I get it. I'm sorry, Hamby. You're dead in 4 seconds. And
this is our idea. It's got to be us.
And people in your contacts?
That's what the goal was. Which, by the way, and we went over
you
this.
Probably
hey, I have some Dagestani wrestlers.
I told him
don't speak a lot of English,
Russians.
so we got to go over signs. Like
sure.
Like
see,
that?
I think we all die then.
If we go just by context.
Yes, but if we did it as even just country. If we did it as a country, I'd prefer world. Mm-hmm. But if we did it as a country, and you had 100 committed people to the bit that are the bit. Yeah, you gotta be.
Hey guys, want to do something cool? All right, check this out.
Yeah, if you had 100 people who like were committed and were physically gifted.
So we're talking Navy SEALs.
Yeah, but
you got to, Casey.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
Okay.
Navy
Honestly,
SEAls.
I'm going less Americans. If I get the whole world, ain't gonna be a whole lot of Americans on there. I need the Dagestanians.
The what?
Wrestling.
Oh, Dagestan.
The
Russians.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Khabibs.
The Khabibs.
See, like, exactly. See, that's my point.
You need to have been raised in the frozen tundra.
I like that. I actually like that.
And hey, we got a shot.
You've been fighting since you came out the womb.
Right.
I like that. You don't know nothing different.
Yeah,
but you also need your fair amount of like sumo wrestlers. I think. They're big. They take up space. The gorilla's probably going to be more interested in them because they're huge as well.
Point. Well, okay, now we're going down the road I like here.
I'm telling you, it's doable.
Hang on though, like, because distraction's got to be a key piece here.
100%.
So think outside the box. Okay, sumo wrestlers for sure, but who's like the most distracting person in the world? Like whether the way they like
Jojo Siwa. Is that where you're going? How about that?
Jojo Siwa dancing and stuff.
Okay.
You know, like getting him heavy, something funny. I'm trying to live. I don't know what you're laughing about. The stakes cannot be higher. We get Jojo Siwa dancing and stuff, and then we got some of the guys from Dagestan or whatever come up behind them.
Yep.
Eye gouge.
That's what I'm saying.
And then we all just run there, then it's a free for all.
I'm telling you, it's doable. If you go to every corner of the world to find 100 people, it's doable.
How hard is it though to get the eyes out? It's gotta be hard.
What do we know about gorilla eyes? Anything? Are they similar to human eyes?
Brent's listening right now. What are you guys doing?
Man,
I love it.
Who cares about Brent? If it's like human eyes, you could get them out. It's got to be somewhat similar, right? Like they can't have.
Well, no. I mean, we
eyes.
came from.
Yeah.
Like the if you believe in that thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hamby. But if you believe in that thing, I'm kidding. If you believe in that thing, like evolution, we came from. So
then, in theory,
different.
Those eyes would come out in some way,
in some capacity. Yes.
Like alligator eyes. I bet we're not getting those out if it was an alligator. But gorilla eyes, I feel like you would be able to. Now the question is, who's the person actually grabbing said eyeball? Because that would freak me out.
Gonna have to. I talk about this, dude. Imagine being wrist deep in eye juice.
See, I would rather go after Gorilla Johnson than I would Gorilla Eyes.
Gorilla Johnson's gonna be a lot more dangerous, though.
Yeah, but
Gorilla Johnson.
Eyes freak me out, dude.
But think about this though, because if we're getting so deep, I love this. If we truly evolved from gorillas, apes, right?
Yep.
Okay. Think about like when somebody like hits you in,
See, those are coming out.
But think about when somebody hits you in the junk, right? Like you're mad, but you're still like, what the heck? You're swinging. If somebody gets your eyes, you're not like thinking, oh, I gotta fight. You're going down in a fetal position, like what the heck was that?
Exactly.
So it's gotta be on the eyes.
You start.
Those baby browns are coming out real quick.
Those are coming out, and then also
nostrils.
Nostrils feel like you could stuff
a fist in the nostril.
Probably a couple. They're probably huge, but
that's what I'm saying.
They're like perfectly like I don't know, man. I'm telling you, it's doable.
Okay.
Not with your random friends, but with the best in the world, it's doable.
Was that it? Was that actually a gorilla right there, Hamby? And then we'll get into our game. Okay, so now here's another thing. Do we need like Kenny Pickett to go in there and get the eyes out? Because now my concern is, are my hands gonna be too big to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Possibly. Well,
I mean, try to take your own eye.
No.
Like, it's not. I'm saying, like, it's not the Kenny Pickett.
That terrifies me, by the way, that you can touch your eye like you just did.
Oh yeah.
You guys aren't scared of eyes at all? No, stop. I mean, eyes freak me out.
I got two of them. We're good.
Eyes freak me out. Did you ever see My Bloody Valentine? Did you ever see that movie?
I know of it, but never saw it though.
Hamby? So I watched it when I was like 9, and there's a scene where, and it traumatized me forever.
Sure.
Like someone knocks on the door or something. I forget how it happens. But anyway, bro goes up to, I think it was a girl actually. She goes up to the peephole.
Okay.
Ice pick.
Ooh,
through the peephole.
Through the eyeball?
Yeah.
Okay. I take it you've never seen Game of Thrones then.
I do. I have not seen Game of Thrones.
Rest in peace to Pedro Pascal. Oof.
They got him in that one too?
They got him in that one. Spoiler! The Game of Thrones, he gets his eyes got. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. It's been like 10 years. If you haven't seen it by now, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Dude,
but yeah,
you love counting down.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to help people out. You know what I'm saying? They got 3 seconds to get out before I spoil it. So Game of Thrones, the mountain, eye gouges.
See? That's the exact human I was thinking about actually on the way. The mountain is a person you recruit to your team.
Not in my phone book, not in my contacts, but I met him. I can reach out to him on social media, and he's a cool dude.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, you need those type. Like, Game of Thrones had a couple of those big humans. The mountain he's the guy that was in, like, the World's Strongest
Man. Bjorn, Ensign's son, like his name, because you're a Viking, so it makes sense.
Perfect.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man. It's
Jojo Siwa's got to be a 3rd round pick, though.
Jojo Siwa's going to be so confused when she gets that letter in the mail. We need you for the gorilla challenge. She's like, what?
See that Big Brother? She'll do this.
Yeah, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Fighting a gorilla and Big Brother.
It'll be all right. She'll be safe. Like, I feel like we put her in a ways away, have her do her dancing with her neon stuff, and we're good to go.
The neon might actually be a play because, like, who knows how gorillas see, like colors and stuff.
That's a good point too. They're not colors. I'm sure they see colors. They're humans. We've been over this. Like, we evolved from gorillas.
Hamby, Google if gorillas see colors.
And then let's get into the game.
Because
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think we got a lot accomplished today, gentlemen.
I think so too.
And if nothing else, I think we've come up with a foolproof plan where we get 100 people to beat a gorilla.
Yes, gorillas can see color.
Mm-hmm. Even better.
Jojo Siwa, that is.
Because how many times?
Or Katy Perry.
No.
Have you seen her concerts lately?
How many times does a gorilla run up on neon green and yellow dancing? Never. He's gonna be confused.
Never. Super confused. Oh, do you think it's gonna be like a King Kong situation where he's gonna be a little more chill then? Like, oh, Jojo Siwa.
In fairness, we don't know.
We don't know. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Jojo Siwa, welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team. Did you get those videos, Hamby?
Yep.
You're actually going to start, so if you can assess that. Yeah, I got a couple. This one, Hamby's video, and then Austin's first video is somewhat of a 2-parter.
Okay.
And if you've been watching and you've seen the play-by-play bit, it's usually to clown the Braves. That's my ultimate goal.
Yep, yes. I'm ready.
And in a backdoor way, we're going to clown the Braves again. I'll set it up for you a second here, Hamby. This comes to us from our friends at the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, and I'm very convinced they're not suing us. Yes, it is their video, but like, we're friends, they're friends, we know each other, it should be fine.
Friends don't sue friends.
Friends don't sue friends, exactly. So, Hamby, yours is, I believe, the 8th inning. If you know how the game eventually ends, don't work it into your call here.
I have no idea.
Because that will be how Austin calls it. But this, I believe, is the 8th inning. And just to put you in the situation, Hamby, if you don't know, Gwinnett Stripers, AAA Braves are playing the Jumbo Shrimp, AAA Marlins. Yep. The Gwinnett Stripers at this point have lost every game in the series. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Lost them all.
So this is Sunday game.
This is Sunday game. They've scored like 5 runs the whole series.
You hate to see it.
They have the lead, and they have just brought in 9-time MLB All-Star Craig Kimbrell to try to
I've heard of him.
Keep the lead. So Craig Kimbrell is your pitcher. Maximo Acosta is your hitter. Okay. Again, Stripers haven't won in a decade, it feels like. You got like 5 seconds of slow-mo to get into it, and then you'll call the play. So whenever you're ready, Abby.
All right. The Gwinnett Stripers trying to avoid going 0 for the season. They elect to go with Craig Kimbrell, and that one is torched out to center field. The camera wears the ball. It doesn't matter. It's long gone. And the one lead they've had in the last week. Oh, did that ball not go?
It was a double.
Oh, I thought that was on top of all of the new accessories out there. But nonetheless, they've blown the lead. It's 2-2. And let me just see this one more time. That ball is way out there. It looks like it's going to land on the mech, but it lands right below the wall.
Hey, camera guy, what are we doing?
2 runs come in to score. Kimbrell is going to have neck surgery from how fast he had to spin around to go watch that ball almost leave the yard.
I like it.
We have a tie ball game.
So there you go.
Nicely done, Hamby.
Tie ball game in the bottom of the 8th after not winning for what feels like a week. And now we fast forward 1 inning to the 9th.
No, this is me or is this Hamby?
This is you. This is you. This will be, yep.
I'm sorry, we'll go back real quick. Who was the player?
Davison De Los Santos.
Davison De Los Santos to the plate, and that might bring down rain. Gwinnett Stripers, another loss. Your Jumbo Shrimp have gone yard. That's going to be a John Deere yard of the game. And take a bow. Forgot your name already, sir. Los Santos. That's a long name on his jersey there. I feel bad for the management team that's got to put that name on. And the Shrimp are going crazy. Gwinnett Stripers, don't know what a striper is. Looks like some sort of fish. They're in the tank right now because they haven't won a game all season. What a travesty.
And it threw me off that it was top 9.
Let's do the replay here in slow motion. We'll see you later. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, that's a scoreboard problem, Hamby. That's a Jumbo Shrimp problem because it was most definitely bottom 9.
Gosh, it sucks when the left fielder doesn't even move.
First pitch of the 9th inning, by the way. Just absolutely demolished it.
So we established the striper's a fish?
Yes.
Okay. Taking the slow jaunt around, Gwinnett Stripers talking to their agents, wanting out of wherever they're from. Gwinnett, where is Gwinnett?
Atlanta.
We may never know. It's in L.A.?
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Nice, man.
Yeah, so, Hamby, what's going on? Not even the minor league Braves can win.
Hey, the big league Braves are doing a lot better.
Are they?
Yeah. We've won, I think, 8 of our last 10.
So there's 2 losses I can find.
Yes, there are. We are now in 3rd place in the division.
I like the sound of that.
Getting a little healthier, getting the bats
Braves.
going a little bit. So Verdugo's hitting about 400 for us.
There you go.
And
forgot that was a human. Good for him.
Yep, he's back, and he's our leadoff hitter.
Oh, that's nice.
He's getting on base twice every game.
I'm sure that won't last.
Well, probably not. But then hopefully Strider will be back in the next week after getting hurt again.
Yeah. It's tough sledding for you, Hamby. I don't know what to tell you.
It's all good. We'll be all right.
The second one is from the NFL draft.
This is me or Hamby?
This is you.
Okay.
Hamby's a strict 1 every time.
Oh, 1 and done?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is your last one.
Okay.
If Brent would ever come back. Here's the thing about the Brent debacle.
Yeah.
He did it the first time, sucked, didn't know who was who on the fighters, had the knockout call wrong, and just steady has not come back since.
Maybe it's a sign. Maybe he's trying to avoid it.
I want to remind you that Brent actually does play-by-play for a living. Like,
somewhat.
He's done the UNF play-by-play for years.
Of course. Yeah.
And bro couldn't get it. Okay, anyway, not important.
By the way, do they judge game tomorrow? Is he back for that one? Because that's already been a fan favorite. We got a lot of comments on the judge.
Yeah,
game.
we can do it tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the moment of the draft for most. This is
Shadur Sanders?
Shadur Sanders getting picked
right.
by the Cleveland Browns. You'll see some video from his, or I think it was Shiloh's stream, actually, if you haven't seen that video. And then maybe some other video mixed in as well. Hamby, when you're ready.
Shadur Sanders waiting for his name to be called. And he's drafted! 5th round, I think. Almost where Austen Lane was taken. Almost. Not sure who had the better Wonderlic score. Mel Kiper in absolute tears right now. Thanking the heavens. We got a little Seawalker, a little Gritty there. Kevin Stefanski's like, just get me out of this organization. And, okay, now we're going with a little more of a European flow there. Okay, we're getting it. There's 10 cameras in the shot. Kevin Stefanski, get me out. What, am I still clapping? We good for YouTube? And we're still dancing. We're still sea-walking. Snoop Dogg would be
Watch
impressed.
out for the dog.
Watch out for the Frenchie. We got a Frenchie on the court. We got a Frenchie who's confused. There it is again. Let's watch it one more time. The pomp.
Jubilation.
The circumstance. The jubilation. The elation.
And the piss.
Kevin Stefanski, what have we done? Looks exactly like I did when I'm not going to say what I did. More Seawalking. Stefanski, a little golf clap there. That could be your starting quarterback one day, sir. Get a little more excited about it when you have Joe Flacco and Deshaun Watson.
Vibes are high.
Get a little more excited about it.
Vibes are low.
Get a little more pumped up about it, if you will.
Not one person has a smile on their face.
The French Bulldog getting ready to make the appearance right here. Watch out for that. Watch out for the Frenchie. Watch out. Oh, he can't even get his gripping on the floor. Shedeur Sanders pick 142.
Sounds about right.
Something like that. Austen Lane went 153. If Shedeur Sanders would have been in Eau Claire, Wisconsin that night, Austen Lane got the underage. Or I'm sorry, underage. Yeah, he may have gotten a little worse. I got arrested a couple times, Casey. I told. People know on the show. It's all
that's
good.
cool. It felt like that was an out of nowhere reference.
Oh no, I'm just saying if Shedeur Sanders would have been with me that night and he would have got the charges, maybe he would have dropped a little more. Is what I was trying to get.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, well.
But yeah, that was the biggest thing when he got drafted. Is my friend said, "Hey, how crazy that Shedeur Sanders almost went right where you went at pick 153." I'm like, yeah, would have been a little crazy.
That would have been cool.
What do you think is going to happen in Cleveland, Casey?
Best case scenario, they stop playing football. Would be my guess. Well, just to go through the options, I don't think it's going to be Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
Agree or?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I think the thing about Gabriel though, he's got all the experience. Like he's got a lot of football, and in terms of physical traits, not the biggest dude, but he's won some football games.
True.
So there's a little optimism there for me.
Did he ever scream NFL quarterback to you when you were watching Oregon play? Or?
No, I mean, if you ask my son, he's the reincarnation of Joe Montana. If you ask me,
okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to be Dylan Gabriel. Joe Flacco's 1,000 years old. I mean,
but probably the guy you trust most right now.
Definitely the most trusted.
Yes.
Shedeur, obviously, there's a lot of stuff there.
Correct.
And then Kenny Pickett.
Or Deshaun Watson.
He's hurt though.
Isn't he coming? He's coming back this season.
Yeah,
or not?
Not right away though, is he? Didn't he tear his ACL the last week?
Yeah, he ain't coming back.
It was the last week. I thought it was.
Or second.
No,
last
it
week.
wasn't. Hang on.
Yeah.
I'll look that up real quick.
Because he tore it again. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah, Deshaun's definitely not there to start.
Okay.
Am I crazy to think it's Kenny Pickett? I mean, I don't know.
Okay, you're right, Casey. So his status for 2025 is still in question.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson. Okay.
So, am I crazy to think that it starts with Kenny Pickett? He's played a lot, as is Joe Flacco. I get that. He can actually move, which Joe Flacco cannot.
Well, he did have 30 yards rushing against the Jaguars.
Who? Oh, Flacco? Okay, so you take those 30 and then add it to the other 15 years.
Take the Ryan Nielsen 30.
Yeah.
Take the Ryan Nielsen 30.
So, in a weird way, I feel like it could be Kenny Pickett. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying basically is you hope it would be like Dylan Gabriel or Sanders one day, but you would try to ease them along instead of throw them in the fire.
I mean, Kenny Pickett was a first rounder.
Well, my biggest thing is if it didn't work in Pittsburgh, it's going to work in Cleveland?
No, well, fair, but also that Pittsburgh offense wasn't the most talented that's ever played football. I'm not saying the Browns is.
No, true, and until they got George Pickens, who was he really throwing to?
Right.
Okay.
So it
was Deontay Johnson, which in retrospect wasn't that good of a guy to throw to.
Not
I guess.
that good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and the thing was, and this is more Steelers than Kenny Pickett, they did win sometimes. It's not like he went to Steelers and was 0-16 or whatever.
Yeah. And if you want to give the Browns any kind of credit, they do have a decent defense.
They do play defense. I feel like there's a lot to be intrigued, maybe not a lot, but there's some to be intrigued by with Kenny Pickett. And I feel like you need to know for sure the answer is no. And if you're Cleveland, just because how many quarterbacks have they, like, how many times have we done this experiment? So to cut him, you know, I'm not saying they would cut him, but like if they choose to cut him in training camp, I feel like that's a mistake. Because what if they're wrong for the 6,000th time?
Well, and this is why I was kind of shocked they didn't take a quarterback in the first round. I mean, I get there's other needs. It's Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeanty, I think, would have been a great pick for them. Would have helped my bank account a little bit because I had Cleveland plus 3,500 to get Ashton Jeanty. Thought it was going to happen.
Ooh.
Didn't happen. But are you surprised? Like, I feel like if you keep missing on quarterbacks, you got to keep on reloading. You got to keep on swinging until you get one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you swung, but like you didn't hit a home run with Dalen Gabriel.
No.
You didn't hit a home run with Shadir Sanders. Like, maybe eventually, but off the get-go, you're not thinking, okay, well, Shadir Sanders, that's going to be a franchise quarterback. Dalen Gabriel, like, no. So then what are we talking about?
Messy.
You got to keep on swinging.
That was the heaviest rock song I've ever
That
heard.
was the death metal about death metal.
Was that Disturbed?
That song's going to be playing when we're fighting the gorilla.
Yes. Yo.
Music.
All right, I know we got to go to break.
Okay.
I didn't even consider that.
Hang on. When we come back in the Brent and Austen show, Casey, go ahead.
What song do we play when we're fighting the gorilla?
And we'll also take a look at the AFC South drafts, the Colts, the Texans, and the Titans very quickly, if time allows, and to see who got the best out of the AFC South.
So not gorilla talk?
We'll see if we can fit it in, Hamby.
Just like the NBA.
You might get bumped.
I have an NBA thought. I want to get that out as well.
Well,
on the Brent and Austen show? We'll see.
Got a lot to do in the next segment.
All right.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around, and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimates, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
I'm ready to show my hand, ready to take a stand. Wait on a sign above, and I am ready, ready. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game. 'Cause I just live for the game.
Action Sports Jacks is the biggest brand in Jacksonville, and we're excited to add another partnership for this team's biggest season yet. Action Sports Jacks 24/7 is now the official streaming network of the Jacksonville Sharks for their 15th season.
The Jacksonville Sharks are your champions.
Baker Sports. It's a hometown business filled with hometown people trying to make you feel right at home.
Chris Conley, Jacksonville University.
Walker Wright, class of 2018, West Nassau High School.
Michael Young, Fletcher High School.
Baker Sports started in a grassroots way and now outfits much of the Southeast.
Will Olive, Mandarin High School. Go Stangs.
High school sports, travel sports, youth sports of all kinds. They are a one-stop shop carrying Nike, Adidas, Under Armour brands, and more.
Vincent Caldes, Oak Leaf High School.
Tony Mazzio, Sandwood High School, class of 2002. Samuel Coffrin, Paxton School for Advanced Studies.
Whether it's sports teams on the field or it's your team in the workplace, like our Action Sports Jacks team, and community events like the Dream 18 Golf Tournament, and many others.
Cole Tilley, Hilliard High School.
Reagan Webb, Eagles View Academy.
Look good, feel good, play good with Baker Sports. Custom sports apparel since 1997. Shop with the hometown team at bakersport.com.
When it comes to trucks, I know exactly what I want. And at Bozard Ford, they make it easy to get exactly that. Let's go make this truck a little more my style. With Bozard Built, I can create my perfect truck right here. Lift kit? Check. Premium wheels? You bet. Advanced lighting package? Oh yeah. The Bozard team works their magic. From bumper to tailgate, I'm making this truck mine. It's everything that I wanted and more. From the field to the gym to weekend adventures. This truck's built for my journey. Bozard Built. Customized for your lifestyle, built to exceed your expectations. Check out the inventory and available options at bozardbuilt.com. Unleash your dream ride. Customized, covered, and Bozard approved.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network.
There it is, the 2025 draft class for the Tennessee Titans.
None of them are on the Gorilla team.
Speaking of draft class, tune into the Brent and Austen Show tomorrow, as Casey Kurtz has just come up with a game where myself, Casey Kurtz, Jason Hamby, and Brent Martineau will all be selecting 24 of our best and our brightest to represent us in the Gorilla draft.
We're drafting the Gorilla team.
What a segue, Hamby. Hamby, want to talk about the AFC South drafts? We're all good. Yep, so tomorrow, Hamby, we're all good, bump it. But, hey, bump it out of here. But what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to pick 24. Each guy will go around, and we're going to draft. That's the draft chime. That was the draft chime, Hamby, yeah.
Which, ironically, I put on the desktop, Hamby. I don't know if you saw
that was a lot better.
You know what? Forget the draft time. We're just going to need you to do that 100 times tomorrow.
That was a little too sultry for my liking, but that was pretty good. Not going to lie. So we're going to have our draft tomorrow. And real quick, before we get into Hamby's stuff that he wants to do, Casey, song.
Okay,
when we're fighting.
There's two ways to go with this. One, do we do a song that fires everybody up, like hard metal, like something? But then I think we risk the Gorilla also getting fired up. Like if we play something that's like pretty heavy and we see the Gorilla like bobbing his head, we are screwed. We cannot put the Gorilla in a good spot.
If you got the Gorilla playing, like if you play Travis Scott and all of a sudden the Gorilla's vibing with it a little bit,
we're in trouble.
We're in trouble.
We are in big trouble.
We're in trouble.
So then the second thing I thought of is, do we play the most annoying song and try to throw the Gorilla off?
That's kind of where I was going with it, but I think we're in different wavelengths. But what do you got? Because I have an idea too.
I'm not sure where I go. Because I'm not sure that the Gorilla can hear. Hamby, can you Google, can gorillas hear music?
Can definitely hear. Yes.
They can hear music.
They do sign language. Oh, that's because they can communicate. Yeah, they can definitely hear.
Yeah, but does it impact them?
I mean, maybe it's not like a dog where like you're going to like mess up its like equilibrium. What a word.
What? Yo, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
How did you do that?
It sounded like an A to me.
Because
so I just started on A.
Oh, wow. That's another segment in itself.
What do you mean it sounded like an A to you?
Dude can hear music. He's a musician.
What?
Yeah,
man.
That's crazy, Hamby.
That was wild.
That was the biggest flex I've ever seen on the show.
That was insane. You play piano?
That's how I play. Like, I can read music, but when I play gigs, I just...
Flexing.
When you play gigs?
Yeah, he plays gigs.
What, piano?
Mostly bass, and then like I play drums and also
slapping the bass. So Hamby can bring his guitar, his amp, and everything, and get it set up for the Gorilla.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could do that.
Casey's song. What do you got one?
No.
Here's what I think we do.
Metalingus, Edge's theme.
Here's what I think we do. Because
on this day.
Because imagine this though. Imagine like if it was 100 gorillas. I'm sorry. Yeah, 100 gorillas versus one human. Yeah,
We're screwed.
Obviously, you're screwed. But like, you're screwed because you're screwed. But also, imagine if the gorilla played on the soundtrack, like on the speaker system in this fight arena. If it was just people screaming, that would affect you. So
I like where you're going.
For our music, we're just gonna play a bunch of gorillas screaming.
Oh,
I like that a lot.
Because now the girls go, what? Hold on. Like distraction, man.
I like that a lot.
Distraction. Hamby, put it down. Keep it on the piano. Gorilla screaming.
Oh, not gorilla screaming.
I like that a lot.
Gorilla screaming.
That's a great play.
Gorilla screaming.
That gives us. See, I'm telling you, things doable.
Dude,
You might only need 50 people.
I forgot. I think it was the Mayans. Some kind of like death call they used to have. I heard on Joe Rogan a long time ago.
Okay.
But like when they were getting ready to attack somebody, they had like these loud screeching horns that sounded like people screaming. And they would play them the whole time when they're getting ready to go attack because like the people that are going to attack, it would like affect them because like they wouldn't know.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's what we do with the gorilla.
Sounds like the Walls of Jericho.
Walls of Jericho. There we go. Look at him with all the wrestling references there.
I can't get over.
A Bible reference.
No, hey, I gotcha. But also, there is a Walls of
Y2K.
Jericho in wrestling. I understand that's where he got it from.
I can't believe you play music and can read it. I was in band. I couldn't read it at all.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I was terrible.
What'd you play?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Trombone.
Okay, that's
Trumpet.
actually funny that you say trombone because I played the mallets. You know about the mallets?
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
xylophone.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Okay.
awesome.
But I got sick of the xylophone because it sucked. So I was like,
You used to hit something though.
yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna try to play the trombone. Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Then I tried to play the tuba. Too big.
Oh, you spent multiple years, or was this all in like the first couple of weeks where there's like, hey, try out an instrument, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do the xylophone. I'm gonna try a bunch.
3 years, my guy, middle school band.
But if you would have just stuck with one, by the time you got 3 years in, you would have been all right.
So this is actually my shining moment in band. Thanks for asking. I went back to the mallets. Couldn't read music. Didn't know how to play. They put me on the 3 dudes playing the mallets at the same time. By the way, it's wild.
Yeah, that's intense.
They put me down at the very end where you couldn't hear. Like it was the really soft ones. So like I was just screwing around.
Yeah,
Anyway, not senior year, but 8th grade year because it's middle school.
Yep.
The final concert, right? The big grand reveal. My teacher, Perry Childs, love him, Mr. Childs. I don't know if he's alive or not. If you're not, rest in peace, Mr. Childs. If you are, love you, dude. Came to me and said, Casey, I've enjoyed having you in class for the last 3 years. You made me laugh, this
I
and
know
that.
where this is going.
He's like, I will give you an A in my class if you do not come to the concert.
I had a buddy who had the same thing.
And I was like, Mr. Childs, I will not be there. It's
been a pleasure. Dang.
Let me get that A, my guy. And that's how I got an A in band.
Yep.
That's insane.
Ass not to show.
I mean, hey,
That's terrible.
I respect it. I respect it from him.
Hey, you know what? I couldn't read the music. I couldn't figure it out.
Talk about the greater good.
I could not sniff it
Gotta
out one
protect the greater good.
bit. Anyway.
All right, speaking about the greater good here, or
Is this
kind
the
of-
NBA now?
Kind of the mid good, if we will, of the AFC South division. Hamby, what do you got for us?
All right, I'm going to take you through these drafts, and I'd like you to us to go through and
Grades?
give some grades and
like it.
potentially some who has the best draft in the AFC South. We'll start with the Titans. I'll throw this back up here, fully aware that you probably can't read it all. So obviously we got Cam Ward at number 1. And then at 52, we took an edge from UCLA. We took Olu Oladejo. Okay. Then at 82.
Surprisingly, a guy that was never in our Shock Your Mock, I feel
Yeah,
like.
never was, which, I think that was a little bit of a reach from them.
Was he actually number 2 or is he just wearing, is this a Photoshop on the jersey?
No, he's probably number 2.
I think he was also number 2.
So you're telling me their first round pick wore number 1 and their second round pick wore number 2?
That's what I'm telling you.
That is sick, man.
And then their number 3
crazy.
pick, wore number 21. That's Kevin Winston. He was mocked here quite a bit.
2 plus 1 is 3!
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Quick maths. And then 4th round.
Don't tell me it's 13 because 3 plus 1 is 4.
No, it's 17.
Thanks, hey.
It's Jim DK.
Hey, if that's the case, I might be putting like $100 on the Titans win the Super Bowl at this rate because I feel like the universe is trying to talk to you. I'm sorry, who's the 4th pick?
Jim DK, the receiver from Florida. Now, if you go off the mocks and the this was probably one of the biggest reaches in the entire draft. If you go off that, because this guy was like late 6th, 7th, maybe even a UDFA. He goes the first pick of the 4th round.
Nice job, Titans.
And then they follow that up a couple picks later in the 4th with another receiver. This was Alec Ayamanor from Stanford. He was mocked, I think, once to us. And in between those two, they got Gunnar Helm, the tight end from Texas that me being Mel Kiper Jr. really liked. And then they went 5th, 6th, 6th with a guard, another corner, and then Khalil Mullings from the running back from Michigan.
Okay.
So on the defense, all they did was they got an edge, they got a safety, and that's it.
And to be fair, their defense has always been pretty solid.
Right, but they got no depth on the D-line. And then they get 2, who knows, receivers. They get Gunnar Helm, who looks like should be a plug-and-play at the tight end position, and they get a little depth on the O-line in the 5th.
Nice job with that, Hamby, by the way, because their graphic person should be fired. Why are they not in any kind of order?
That's a great point.
They went middle, left, up, right, down. Like
just a hodgepodge of
no reason.
Randomness.
So good job navigating that.
And some are a lot bigger than the others. 2 are bigger than the others.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I get it. Like Cam Ward's like, okay, the biggest, but then, okay.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Casey? Grades, if you want.
I like Cam Ward.
Same.
So, like, I'm not giving him an A, but, like, I like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be good. And, they picked
I'll
him
give it a B.
at 1-1. Yeah, B-.
Okay.
All right.
Hamby?
I think this is a B- draft.
Okay.
Hey!
Okay.
All right. We got a little order here. We'll go to the Indianapolis Colts.
These are some people with common sense is all.
This makes a little more sense.
You just go in order.
I feel like Stuart Weber made this one.
Like
Nope.
This is Stuart Weber style.
It is-
No, it's a compliment.
It is not that hard to do it like this, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler Warren falls in their lap at 14 after the Bears took Colston Loveland at 10. So they start with them. Then they go a little reachy with JT Tuiomalau, the edge from Ohio State. He was mocked to the Jags in the 3rd round a couple of times. Then they go Justin Wally, cornerback from Minnesota. I'd never heard of him. Nice. Then Jalen Travis, tackle from Ohio State. That's a good depth piece that they could potentially move inside. Here's a key one. They go DJ Giddens in the 5th round, running back out of Kansas State, who obviously, if you remember, the 2 big running backs coming out of 2023 were him and Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon falls off the face of the earth. DJ Giddens has
Where is that guy?
he's a UDFA for somebody. DJ Giddens had an okay, I guess, junior year, but not as good, but still solid. But a lot of people liked him, and he goes in the 5th round. Then they go Riley Leonard, who might as well be your another running back. And then Tim Smith, defensive tackle from Alabama, and rounded out in the 7th round with Hunter Wohler, a safety from Wisconsin.
What happened to Ollie Gordon?
Ollie Gordon, that was first team. Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
So up there with, who was the guy from the Colorado? Not obviously Hunter, but the other receiver.
Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn Jr., there we go.
He was drafted.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Late, obviously. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm going to give this... if I give the last one a B, I like this one a little more just because I think Tyler Warren, I mean...
It's good value.
It's great value. I think in an offense that...
Position they need.
Needs a little spice, needs a little more of some swag. I think he did that with Tyler Warren. I'll give it a B+.
I like their receivers. Obviously, Taylor's good. They're not a bad team. Mark my words, Riley Leonard plays quarterback for them at some point in time.
Right.
I'll go just straight B. So better than the Titans, but by little.
Hamby?
Yeah, I'll go like a 86.5, and I'll nudge it to B+.
Okay.
Especially because the Giddens pick, I think that could be great after Jonathan Taylor.
Show me some wide receivers in the next one.
All right.
See,
Houston
again,
Texans.
what is this?
This is... I mean, you're not even... This
Who's
is too
the
much.
first rounder?
This is too much.
They didn't have one. They traded out.
So who's the first? Higgins?
Higgins is the
Immediately
first.
D. I can't see...
This is terrible. This is worse than the Titans debacle.
Show this... Okay, when we're going to fight the Gorillas, show that, have a big poster of this.
He'll be so lost.
He'll be so confused.
Why is Graham Mertz at the top?
Yikes.
6th round pick.
Yikes.
All right.
Okay, take us through them.
All right, so we trade out of the first round and we get a couple of picks, but not as much as what the Falcons gave up behind us to get to 26. Who did they trade? They traded with the Falcons gave up to trade with. Doesn't matter, but we got a lot less than they did. So we go to 34. Our first pick is Jaden Higgins, a receiver out of Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. He's big.
He's big.
6'4".
He's a nice player.
He's fast too.
He went a little earlier than expected. Then our second pick in the second round was at 48, and that was Ariante Ursary, big tackle from Minnesota. So we're finally addressing the offensive line when we've given away Tunsil. We've tried to patch things up. But as far as the NFL landscape is concerned, we have gotten worse at that spot. We were already bad. So Ursary comes in, and he's probably going to be a plug-and-play immediately at one of the tackle spots. Then we go back to Iowa State say if we don't get one guy from the Cyclones, let's get two. We go Jalen Noel at 79.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
That's right. Then another third rounder, we go corner, Jalen Smith from USC.
A lot of Jalen's and Jadens. Don't like that.
Yep, we got Jalen, and they spell this Jalen the same way, and they both spell it wrong, Jaylin. Then we go to the fourth round, Woody Marks, another USC, so we got two Iowa State, two USC. Never heard of Woody Marks. They took him above Dylan Sampson. They took him before DJ Giddens. Then we go Jalen Reed. He was mocked
quadruple dipping on the Jalen's.
Another Jalen, but he spells it the right way, kind of, with an E.
You drafted 4 Jalen's.
And then we go Graham Mertz, who hasn't played football in a long time, from Florida in the 6th round.
About him.
Then we rounded up with 2 7th-round picks, Keontae Hamilton, a defensive tackle from Rutgers, and Luke Leachy, tight end from Iowa.
So, real quick, the Texans, literally, their scouting department was like, we're going to go to the USC game, and we're taking 2 of them.
Iowa State played USC, and what a game it was.
They're like, we're going to go to the Iowa State game, and we're taking 2 of them. And while we're in Iowa, we're going to swing over to real Iowa, get one of them while we're at it, and then the spots that we don't have filled, is your name Jalen? We'll take you.
Hey, and Coach Ryans, we understand, like, you're a great coach and everything, but how hard is it to, like, try to remember 90 names on a football roster? Let's make it easier on you. Here's 10 Jalen's.
He just calls everybody Jay.
Just call everybody Jay.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
What's up, Jay?
CJ Stroud's like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
You're great. I mean, I do like the fact that, okay, maybe they doubled up a little too much, but they did help out Stroud. Like, listen, if anything, this team has taken over. Like, they're trying to help Stroud out as much as possible.
They address some needs. I like the big receiver. Shout out to the guy that bought that stuff on my eBay. I didn't know he went to the Texans, but thank you for that. I'll give it a solid, just a regular B.
I think I'll give it a B too as well. I like the Texans in this manner. I don't like a lot about them, but I like the fact of their goal the past couple of years seems to be take care of CJ Stroud. And then it almost seems like, hey, we have a defensive-minded coach. Doesn't matter who we really get in the draft or anything. Like, they'll be fine. Yeah. Like, they have talent on defense, but they almost got like an upgrade just because of who their head coach is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you include the trade back and accumulation of more picks, I think it's a B. But if I'm them, I stay at 26 or whatever I was at. I take the first left tackle available, and then Higgins is still there for me in the second round. So I think if you don't include the pick, this is a 75.
Ooh. I like that. 20. Hey, real quick, in 20 seconds, we got to cut the NBA play-in.
Oh, yeah, we've been over this, yes.
Because what was that last night? They lost by 80 in the playoffs.
What about Tyler Hero after Game 3 gets in front of the press conference and goes, we're not going to lose 4 in a row. It ain't going to happen. You lost by 50.
That was bad.
All right, for Casey Kurtz, Hammy pushing all the right buttons. I'm Austen Lane. Good luck, Kaylee, on the mound today. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, stay casual. We out. Peace.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road. and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnicht has a treating you right guarantee. Courtesy, respect, fairness. And most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnicht. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnicht. GMC. We are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost, from Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Even better, to celebrate their 10-year anniversary, the team at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are hosting an open house May 1st. Learn about the array of procedures. There's also chances to win big prizes. Come look and feel your best with Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics today.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with a purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recycling.